And the city said, nah, you gonna have to just work with what you got there. And that's how Vanport and the western side of Portland got it. Because before Kaiser was here, the original landmark, a lot of black people think that blacks come from the north. Like, oh yeah, we're from the north. That's not the truth. The north was actually white.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, the original first black area is Stumptown.
This isn't your typical podcast, my nigga. I don't hold my tongue for shit, and neither do the men around me. If you're looking for something a little bit more vanilla, I highly advise you to turn this motherfucker off, cause we about to talk that shit.
Everything XL.
Hey, my nigga. This isn't your typical podcast. I don't hold my tongue for shit, and neither do the men around me. If you're looking for something a little bit more vanilla, I highly advise you to turn this motherfucker off, because we about to talk that shit. You feel me?
Hey, man, that's what it do.
My nigga.
Talk that shit one time.
Top of the morning, everybody. For the people watching and for the people listening, we got some folks in here. We got a full house. Top of the morning, my partner, Jason.
What up?
Top of the morning, Rich.
Yeah.
94 Prince.
What's good?
Hey, and to the people watching and the people listening, y'all know we got someone in the building. But before we get to him, you feel me? Let's run through these sponsors real quick. Pretty dope experience. If you want dope music, you got to go out and go get it. Go ahead and go download the app today and tap in with my peoples. Kingdom Cuts. Walk in, tap in, slide in on my folks on 7529 Northeast Gleason Street, Portland, Oregon. If you ever in the town, you want some dope food, tap in with my homegirl Chris at Fire Fusion Foods. That's FIYAH_fusion_foods. Wifey, Jen got cakes with the dope cakes, you feel me? And also shout out to Wifey today. She plugged us in with breakfast, you feel me?
Killed the game.
Shout out to my homeboy Frowns, Park and Spark. Y'all need a dope podcast, a pothead podcast, tap in. That's Park_and_Spark on Instagram and on YouTube. Flight Lounge. If y'all ever in the town and want to get out in the community and go smoke with some folks, man, slide up on them at the cafe. That is 5944 Northeast Sandy Boulevard, Portland, Oregon, or the other location, which is 5427 Southeast 72nd Ave, Portland, Oregon. What up with my folks, man?
Man, same old, man. It's good. It's good to be here, man. Glad to see you, man.
That part. And for the people listening and watching, if y'all want to know about who's in here today, I know this man by a couple of names. You feel me? We got Fat Water. We got Wavy Nathan. You feel me? We got Wavy.
Yeah, you know.
I remember seeing bro back in the day before I really knew him with this music shit. Being up at the top to bottom where we go get our blank tees, our white tees, the black tees, go get something pressed up for the night. You feel me? Back in the day when the copper penny was still thugging and yakking.
Man.
Hey man, this nigga had his shit sitting on the motherfucking shelves wrapped in plastic. The first of the first, you feel me?
Bro,
my nigga.
Back in the day. Bro.
Wavy. Top of the morning.
Top of the morning. Glad to be here, man, with my guy.
That part.
Coming from Portland, being here, you know what I'm saying? And like he was just saying, starting off, you know, bro, we was trying to get going back there. You feel me? Like that's when motherfuckers was still printing up CDs. I don't think nobody running CDs no more like that.
Bruh. This come around with this project, like it wasn't even a thought if I needed to go get CDs pressed up because I'm not. You feel me?
I'm what? Saying, like, bro, in this day and age, let's be realistic, bro. I ain't gonna say people don't got CDs, but who is bumping CDs? Right. And what you gonna put it in? Laptops ain't taking CDs no more.
Nope.
Hey, if somebody got a CD player, DVD player at their house, you kind of looking at them kind of suspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, how old is you, man? This your grandma's house? Is it?
I knew that there was gonna come a day, but it was like one of those like I would have never thought that the day was gonna come to where like, oh, damn. Got CDs no more?
Bro, we are the era of when motherfuckers got rid of 8-tracks and all that type of shit. And motherfuckers was looking at them funny when they stopped using them type of things. And now, we the ones, like, even with cassettes, they stopped going. Remember them?
Yeah.
Motherfucker ain't using cassettes no more. You know, you get home, you bust open your tape. You be like, I'm about to bust this open. I'm about to put it in the tape player. You be like, put it in there. You hit the button, boop. You know what I'm saying?
The whole get down.
You be really like, yeah, there we go. Then if you know, if it wasn't really slapping, you hit it with that little piece of tape over the back and record over it, and you be like, man, I'm getting rid of this motherfucker. I'm gonna record something else. But now, bro, it's like
I remember doing that.
Bro,
that's the original
streaming,
mixtapes.
YouTube, like if your stuff ain't like online digitally, it's almost like, bro, this shit is antique. Like, bro, don't get me wrong. I mean, unless you like rip on some DJ shit. I don't know too many cats is running on CD.
Even on the DJ shit, we don't do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like y'all can rip it on streaming.
Nigga, we got a little thing. It's digital. It's like it looks like a little. Remember them little pocket knives you used to have, them little army pocket knives. So you put that shit on the table, right? And that's what makes it sound the scratch.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't even have that other shit no more. We don't do that. We literally got a little army knife little thing. You put it on there on the little stem that pops out the DJ equipment. You put it on both of them, and then when you want to scratch, that causes the scratch. So
bro, you don't even have to scratch the CD or
you don't have to
There's nothing even scratching anything. You just making.
It's a sound effect.
It's a sound effect.
Oh my God,
bro! Who would have thought? Like I said before, bro, shit went from Fred Flintstone, old school shit to now. It's the Jetsons. Motherfucker around here like spacey sprockets with shit. You know what I mean? Like I never saw that coming, bro. We 100, and then we was all kind of I'm pretty y'all. Y'all still.
I'm a young nigga.
Yeah, y'all still. I'm a young
nigga.
We some older niggas right here, man. Like, we the older cats right now. That don't get even screw in, really. Oh, that way the old heads, man. You know what I'm saying? We the young OGs around here. And so back in the day, man, shit was different, man. Now you motherfuckers be looking at this shit like, damn, man, the fuck going on? Or like motherfuckers on the thing, they was like, yeah, back in the day, you'll hit somebody and be like, yeah, man, I'm gonna call you, man, I'm gonna call you. You hit the chick like, I'm gonna call you. They was online, they was like, man, show us using your phone telling their kids. They was like, with your hand. The kid was like, hey, like, he don't
know that. Yeah.
This would never be a thing, bro. So it's like, that shit ain't even a thing for them to be like,
that's crazy.
Up.
You can see a nigga in traffic. Hey, cuz, hit me.
Hit me. Now if you say this to somebody, they kind of like.
He said,
hey, the little kid looking like.
He got his own palm to his face.
Yeah, he was like.
That don't mean like, that to me. That mean, nigga, I'm gonna slap this shit up.
Yeah.
That's that shit when you, hey, bro, you think I got cancer? You remember that shit? You walk up, hey, bro, this is a little cancer.
That was right as I was getting out of elementary with your young ass.
Yeah, when motherfuckers do that shit, like, oh, man, I think it's something on my hands smell funny type shit. Yeah, versus now, motherfucker ain't doing that shit. Like, and it's funny because I feel like, bro, things are just progressing. You know, and if it ain't progressive, I think people get left behind, bro.
Talk about progressing before we get too far into it. Where are you from?
I'm from here, Portland, Oregon, born and raised, man. 100%.
What section?
Oh, man, we talking sections, man.
Let's talk that shit.
Where we at, man. Hey, you already know the section, man, on the other side, man. I'm from the 3800 side, man. You know, Unthink Park area. We ain't gonna get into too much.
No. For the people that ain't from Portland, what section, what is Unthink Park area? Like,
that would be, we would probably be more like central, closer to the Motor Center. Like, we ain't that far.
So is that
from
considered
downtown.
North Portland or Northeast?
It's funny. Our streets say north, so it's like North Vancouver, North Gatlinburg, but we are northeast. You know, weird as it is, everybody was northeast, but
because isn't the actual park in Northeast?
It is, but because of the way the streets out here, I don't know if anybody really noticed how that works. Since we're like on the other side of MLK, I think that makes, or either Williams or MLK, that makes us North Portland.
So, in your opinion, Williams and MLK is the divider between the North and the Northeast.
That's kind of how they make it see. I mean, that's how it's almost set up. And even like with Burnside, some people don't know, that's our middle going down. So on the other side of Burnside is south. And everything above Burnside is north. So that's northeast, northeast. But then when it's lower than Burnside, that's when it's southeast, southwest, and all that.
See, I lived on Burnside. I ain't never knew that.
And it's crazy because back in the day, like we had, just the neighborhood and shit. Motherfucker grew up over there. It was black people. Bro, I'll go over there now. Shit.
And that's what made me want to get into progression. Shit. What was Portland like for you? Matter of fact, when you hopped off the porch, meaning not necessarily into any kind of politics, just leaving the house, how old were you?
I want to say, man, when we was outside, it was like 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. So we was like already running around at the park, but outside, like hanging out, being in the streets, and running around my friends, like bike riding and stuff, we was like 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there.
So what was Portland like for you at the age of 12? And at 12, what year was that?
Oh, shit, bro. Don't get me started.
Summertime, what year?
It would have been like summertime. I don't got the exact date. You know what I mean?
He don't want to.
I'm like, what is this, like the 90s or something? It had to be like the 90s or something. We was off the porch, man.
What, like 94?
Somewhere around here, bro. Hey, when this nigga was born type shit. He fresh about the womb. We running around stealing chromies and shit from like the Red Cross, and we saw the cars and stuff, and then like we was out breaking windows, and we was just like running around the neighborhood.
Badass.
Hey, it was funny like that. Baby kids. We was into shit. Like we go running around egging houses. We was doing all that, man, because we thought
he was acting like niggas.
Oh, this is another giggles.
Cool.
Yeah,
we thought that shit was cool. Like we would go around and do shit, but then it was like, and then we was on Vancouver Street because that was the main street. Everybody else lived on the back street, so we would throw shit at cars coming down Vancouver Street.
You was one of them
niggas. We was the cool cars and stopping and shit. We'd all run and shit. Bro, like a car. We like, oh shit, they coming back. Some motherfuckers that come back around the block, they'd double back like y'all got me fucked up.
Back home, there was I used to live on this corner of Grand Haven and Tout, and it was Closter Park. That was the big park on the east side where I stayed at. But I lived like literally across the street, so I'm from the east. You feel me? Right. I used to sit up in this tree. I'll never forget this day because I ended up going to juvenile hall that day. Not for what I'm about to say though, nigga. I was up in the motherfucking tree with a wrist rocket, nigga. Tagging niggas, cars passing by, nigga. I'll never forget it, bro. It was like butter, nigga. Mwah. This nigga said. Nigga got out that car, nigga. My mama said all she seen was some white dude yelling at a tree, and she knew it was me, nigga.
She knew, like, I don't know. He out there yelling at a tree. He like, what the fuck? He was like, oh shit, I think he see me.
So yeah, when you say throwing eggs at cars for no reason, yeah, I was that nigga.
Yeah, and like we was on that type of shit, man.
I was not that nigga. I lived on 162nd and Burnside. They shot niggas. I was not that nigga.
It was different for y'all coming up, man. Like, what nobody gonna be on Burnside throwing shit in cars?
Nah, nigga. You going to jail, you getting your ass whooped, nigga.
You going to jail, you everything. The motherfucker, SX pull up and she be like, oh, Holmes, here our fucking car, SX. Hey, we go. You know who out that way. They wasn't playing back then, bro. That's when all Mexicans was out that way. No disrespect to nobody, but that's when
so it's cool.
They was all out that way. They like ran shit out that way. Like you knew.
Rockwood.
If you went, hell yeah. So you knew. Hey, bro, you knew. If you was past the 82nd, you was gonna run into the Mexicans and like we would like get on the Max and shit, and we like get into it with them little skateboarders and shit because it was like that was their side of town. Like, what you doing over here? And the majority of them was back at 18th
Why
Street.
you talking like that?
Yeah, like, what you doing over here? Hey, we'd be like, man, they'd be like, or just something like that. And it was crazy, bro, because then we have family that's from like the north. You know, motherfuckers kind of go over there, but motherfuckers didn't really fuck with.
But your section, Unthank Park. And that's north.
That would be Unthank Park area. If you were gonna say our section, it would have been MLK all the way back down to, let's say, interstate, let's say Fremont type. I mean, and then going down, it would have been like we kind of like cut off on Fremont Street, but we still like ran shit around there. I ain't gonna say like motherfuckers didn't have little other things going on, but it was kind of like they knew. Right. Like there was some other like cliques and crews, and they would either have little lightweight beef with the homies, or they would kind of just be like, all right, this day section, we just over here. So we kind of like guessed in their hood, but we live over here, or somebody's auntie, or aunt, you know, or
that's the part where that's where politics get kind of iffy, is because it's like you from this section, but it's Saturday or it's Easter Sunday. Y'all got to go to Aunt Shirley house, and Aunt Shirley lives.
That was a whole, bro. That's when things started getting funky.
Wouldn't you say it got more funky when they shut down Columbia?
It got more funky then.
When you say shut down Columbia, what does that mean?
When they did the whole
Columbia Villa got relocated.
When they got relocated,
and they like shut it down because it used to
and
be
they
like
sent niggas to the east. Because when I'm from Vancouver. I was born in Vancouver.
Okay.
I grew up in Portland when I was 9.
Right.
So I came into here 2003, 2004 when they were shut that bitch down and they were starting to push niggas to the east. So so when I first moved to Portland, we was living downtown. Y'all know where Zone Studio is?
Mm-mm.
I've
heard of it.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? So a Zone Studio over there right next to the 7-Eleven where the old country radio station used to be at. You feel me?
Okay.
So I was living there my first time. Then we ran to 102nd. Then we ran to 162nd.
Well,
but
we got deeper and deeper.
Nigga, bro, we was gonna go to the number 257 after that. But
that's
we was
what a lot of motherfuckers was moving to.
But the reason they was moving to is because when the Villa got shut down, they was pushing niggas to the east. So I'm saying, wouldn't it have been more funky when they did that?
It was, but it was like it kind of depended because a lot of people were still. Our people were still in Northeast, so the majority of black people was there. But when the Villa people, I ain't gonna say like they ain't
the Villa people,
the Villa people, because motherfuckers that live in the Villa, like I got family that's North Side, and they North Side, they St. John Bridge motherfuckers. They still Portland, but they feel different about the North. They like
nutty North,
the nutty North, St. John's area, the Villa. And don't get me wrong, like I got cousins that's from CVC, so that's they shit. No, everybody rep where they from, and bro. They was like, they felt some type of way. Like, it was crazy because he'd come visit. Now, mind you, come to CBC, he'd come over to Unthang neighborhood and he'd be getting into it with the homies. But they would be trying to, like, not get into it with him, but he was making it a point to come through flagging, banging, talking doing that too shit. Much. And they like, bro, they was like, but you better get your little family, bro. But he was from Chicago, so he was already on that time before it was that Chicago time. But he came from, it's whatever. I'll fight all you motherfuckers. I'll fight line them all up. I'll knock them all down.
He wanted
and like, it don't matter. You can whoop his ass, beat the brakes off him, everything,
he
bro.
coming back.
Snotty nose, bloody face and everything. He like, you done? You done, motherfucker? They probably be like, bro, you want some more? Like, they would have beat the brakes off you, but that, like, him being like that, it kind of gave me a different perspective because everybody up here kind of had like that's it, or that we ain't really pushing the line. It was like he would push the line. Then he started like knocking off white people for their bikes. He just had a whole bunch of shit going on. He had a whole bunch of shit going on.
Motherfuckers.
But that came from that out of town mentality, and it was like for us, we was kind of like low key. So it was weird, bro, being from here and then seeing other people from somewhere else because we kind of like mild mannered. Don't get me wrong, motherfuckers up here pop off.
Right.
But the majority of everybody is like cruise control. They like cool. So it's like, motherfucker ain't like.
Shit don't get hot until you make it hot.
Exactly.
It's because we got trees, nigga.
Hey, you stupid.
Shut the fuck
oxygen
up.
and shit, motherfucker. Breeze.
Nigga. We got breeze, nigga.
Nigga sit here like, hold on, man, calm down.
I feel like as soon as I came to Portland, because I used to live all over the country. I was in Tampa, I was in LA, I was in Texas, nigga. I feel like every time I come back to motherfucking Portland, niggas here remind me of Plies when that nigga's like, why are you mad?
You stupid. You dumb.
Every Portland niggas just chill about that shit. Even when they trying to push funk with you, like, nigga, at the end of the day, nigga, we can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Right.
But that energy is like,
it
hey,
isn't
nigga,
like extra energy.
They're not like screaming at you like, fight me, nigga. They're like, hey, bro, if you want to do what you want to do, I'll come out here, nigga. You touching my body, nigga. Over here sounding like Sada Baby, nigga, with ad-libs.
Before the politics, before a section of town was important to you and just being a kid, what do you remember Portland being like?
Remind me of like the movie Sandlot. That's how it was.
Nah, that's dope.
Not being funny, like everybody.
That's how I feel about my childhood.
Everybody, we like played baseball, we played football. You kind of knew everybody the same way. Like the other kids rode up on their bikes and like would challenge them and was talking shit. That it was like that.
When it was fun
beef.
to do that.
It was a cool beef. We'd be like, oh, we gonna go to the park and go play such and such of them over at Peninsula, or we gonna go over there and then play hoop with the other cats over at like Woodlawn or something, or go play hoop with some other cats at Irvington. I remember we used to go up to Irvington, and now being older down, I was like, all right, so Irvington clearly was, that's where Crips was at. Well, they wasn't tripping. But we would go up there. And the older homies, though, they didn't go. So it was like you could tell politics had already took effect for them because they was older.
Right.
But we was like kids in like elementary school. Like the majority of everybody out here, like we all know each other, whether it be middle school, elementary. I mean, bro, the majority of schools out here, as far as on this side, our parents that went to, they parents that went to. Let's say,
what high school did you go to?
I ended up going to Grant, and I went to POIC, and then I think it changed over to Rosemary Anderson.
Yeah, POIC is still there. My baby mom.
So you side with Grant.
Yeah, I mean, and it's right because I was up down the street from Jeff, but everybody that kind of went to Jeff was, I felt like they, not to say like they was at our side of town. It was weird because the majority of people that stayed in our neighborhood, they just slid on over up to Grant, and then the other, like this other cats, other hoods that went there, I would say like the Phalans, cats from GD, and then a small group of Crips. Like I want to say the majority of Crip people I knew that was on that shit or even in school, they all went to Jeff, bro. It was like Jeff was the hood shit where everybody wanted to be at.
I got kicked out my first day.
See, it was a hood school. It is crazy.
No, it was because it was a hood school. Nigga, I walked into the school, he banged not even 5 seconds into the door.
Because if it wasn't banging for our set, it was like banging for your clique or your crew or your little turf. But then we went to Grant. I'm going to be honest, on some, Grant, to me, represents what Portland is for black people in an aspect. Mm-hmm. We're around other cultures, so we get to mingle and mix with other cultures a lot easier. Mm-hmm. And then we learn how to intertwine with them, and then they want to intertwine with us. But you go to other places, like I knew people that went all the way out to 82nd to like Wilson or Madison. They wasn't, you feel me? They wasn't as welcome. It was kind of like, oh.
And I asked that question because from an outsider, and I'm me being an outsider, like, yeah, I went to high school here, but it's one of those things where like, the way you just explained how Grant, you feel like Grant is supposed to be the representation of what black people are in Portland.
Yeah.
If you really look at the different schools, you can kind of guess, like, if you went to Grant, you had and don't come for me, y'all. If you went to Grant, you kind of dressed, acted a certain kind of way, had a little bit more class about yourself.
Yeah.
If you went to like Jeff or motherfucking what's the other one that's in that area? Or what's the school that they
deep in the
with?
north, Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, that's what I was looking for. Jeff and Roosevelt, you was a member. You was kind of on EBT.
They say, well, the thing is too, I talked to
and that too,
Coach West. He one of my security guards, but Coach West also he used to run with the U crew and all that shit. Mm-hmm. He used to tell me when I first got to talking that the west side of MLK was the lower poverty for the black, whereas the east side, going east of MLK, back in the day growing up, like the 70s and 80s, that's where the more wealthier.
Yeah, it was. You could tell.
Yeah, it was a wealthier side of blacks.
You could tell if you, like, okay, so, mind you, I was still younger, but if you can see it, like, let's say you're driving, and you driving up, you can tell how shit started to change on that side of the street. Now, let's just say it's back in the day, it's 70s, 60s, and the people over here kind of like on, let's say,
are we talking before the Vanport era?
Around Vanport, let's say around that. So like in a mix of that, because that's what transcended the area, like Mississippi and all that. Because before that was white people neighborhood.
Right.
What, Mississippi?
Yeah, all that was.
The St. John's was too.
All that was. Yeah. But Vanport changed all that. Because what happened was, quick rundown, because I had to do because my grandpa lived there. Like, they was in the flood and everything. And so they brought everybody from Kaiser because he's from the South, so he's from Texas.
Kaiser was amazing. I heard the story.
Yeah, Kaiser brought all these black people up here, but it was all for
the first man to give benefits to people and included African Americans in that.
He did
because of his wife was a nurse,
and then they incorporated. They made Vanport was the biggest city at the time in Portland because it was such a big city, and they had all these people up there working, and so when the people couldn't after the shit happened with the flood, they were kind of like just go here, go there. And
Yeah,
then,
they
like,
were scattering it.
They didn't even
Yeah.
want to give motherfuckers loans and shit to get
No.
houses over there off of Mississippi because they was black. So
The,
basically, they was kind of
yeah.
like blackballed not to get loans. But if you had the bag, or if you was, I don't know, back then getting the bag was a whole different bag.
Yeah.
You damn near, if you had the bag back then,
You ballin'.
man, I don't know how horse wagons and some more shit. You came through with the bag.
Yeah, they were telling me that the Kaiser lady and the Kaiser himself, they used to run to the city because they had so many African Americans coming into here to work because they were getting benefits. They said that he went to the actual city and was like, we need to extend the segregation line on living because I got a lot of black people coming in and working for me. And the city said, nah, you gonna have to just work with what you got there. And that's how Vanport in the western side of Portland got it. Because before Kaiser was here, the original landmark, a lot of black people think that blacks come from the north. Like, oh yeah, we're from the north. That's not the truth. The north was actually white.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, the original first black area is Stumptown.
Where's that?
Over there in the industrial area, right by where you live, but over industrial.
Whoa, allegedly.
I didn't say exactly the street, nigga.
He like Stumptown, but hey.
Yeah, no, Stumptown where the railroads are. Or right before
that's
you get
where they
to
was
St.
supposed
John's
to stay
Bridge.
down there.
Yeah, that used
So
to be
that
a
back
light.
part of St. John's?
The back part of St. John's is still connected to this side. Is not when you cross the
So
street.
are we talking about like where
where the Amazons are now? The Amazon warehouses.
the train track place that I said I used to work at, the NFB?
Yeah. That was the original black community. They even had a lake. There. They dried
You
up
talking
the
about
lake.
that Hayden Meadows?
Oh no, south.
Okay, south.
Yeah, we're still talking about because I said Amazon. I know why you got that one.
Yeah.
But no.
The other, it must be.
Stumptown is over where you know where Montgomery Park is.
Yeah,
the big
boom.
ass sign.
That's where it was.
That's the original black community.
Because that's
Right.
where everybody used to work,
Yeah.
too. I remember my grandpa worked down there.
They used to even have a lake there. They dried the lake up and put a railroad station through there. And then that's when they dried the lake up, they kind of fucked up the blacks. And then they pushed the blacks a little bit out because that's when the gentrification really got started. Because you got to remember, too, where you live currently, going up into the motor center, that was also black. And then they had to shut down the motor center to put the freeway in there. And they shut down, not the motor center, but they shut down the black community, put the Rose Garden up, and then put the freeway up. Because
First
blacks
was
was
that
leaving.
Coliseum.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
Coliseum's still
So-
there.
So
Yeah.
it went from Coliseum to the Rose Garden to the Motor Center.
Yeah,
it's
but
just the
before
name
that,
change.
it was a black community that was actually nationally known for.
So the Rose
jazz.
Garden hasn't always been there.
No, it wasn't there.
It was for
That's
we
new?
didn't even have
That's
that.
new. Yeah, that
was a
was
new arena they built. So we just had a rusty, dusty ass Coliseum. It was just like an old 70s little square building on the side.
I couldn't even
I
imagine
remember
what that
going to
looked like.
games there and shit. It was like an
Yeah.
old arena, just an old. It got.
So you remember the
like,
change.
is it still there?
It wasn't before
I'm thinking I'm tripping back.
the Coliseum is still there.
Okay, so
They
it is still
redid
there. It's sitting there.
It's right next door to the Motor Center. But
Where they have the Bourbon.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that's where they be having that at, right?
Okay.
So
But
I
before
don't even
that
know
was
why it's
there-
still there at this point. It's just there, bro. Just it's a big ass arena just there.
Well, they have the hockey team in it now.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was gonna say I remember going to ice skating and shit there, and I remember
So they still using it.
Disney
It's
on
all
Ice.
one big giant
But
compound now.
before the
there you
Coliseum
go.
was there,
So now they got
it
the
was black
Coliseum
homes.
and that.
Yeah, before the Coliseum was there, though, it was black homes. They shut all that shit down and kicked all the blacks out so they could make the freeway and then the Coliseum.
So let me picture this and see if I understand what you're talking about. So the Coliseum where they have the Winter Hawk shit and the Boo Bomb, that was where the Blazers played.
Yes.
Everything of what we know of the Rose Garden wasn't
Never
there.
there.
Wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
The bus
But
didn't
you
even
gotta
go
realize,
through there.
in order
Nigga,
for them,
what?
in order for them, yeah, the bus didn't go there. And in order for
What
them
about the
to-
Max?
No, we didn't have one
because this was the
at that
70s. This was
time.
like the 70s, 80s. This is when who was president? Eisenhower. This is when Eisenhower was really pushing the freeway method.
Yeah, this is when they was trying to get freeways going. So it's like their freeway, and that was a big thing. I want to say.
Yeah,
'Cause
they-
at first,
they literally had
the
to kick
Fremont
niggas
Bridge
out.
was the last bridge they built, and they built that once they got the freeway going. So when they brought that, like he was talking about the freeway, that's when they was like, well, let's connect this and make
Yeah.
people better get back down
And
there faster.
they had to relocate African Americans out of their homes so they could make the freeway.
Yeah,
Once
so
they
like over there, like that Kirby Street exit and all that, there was houses and all that, and then they got rid of them. And that's why when you drive by, you can see there's houses like up to the freeway.
Yeah,
there by
I've always tripped on
Emmanuel.
that.
And they like sit there where them used to be houses, and they
Yeah,
just got
there used
rid
to
of
be
it.
an all black community because we weren't allowed downtown. We were allowed on the east, going up to the Motor Center where that is, and then we're going to west towards where Montgomery Park was. We weren't even allowed in the Nutty North. Now, when they cut off all that shit and they move niggas to the north, now that's why you got all these blacks that are like, nigga, I'm from the Nutty. Like they take it as this, like that's where they from.
Really, there's a step before that.
There was a step before that you had no idea what was going on. Because if they didn't do what they did with the freeway and the Motor Center, like I said, a lot of people here in Portland were known jazz musicians. Well, this is when jazz was popping. So everybody here who was in Portland, who lived where the Motor Center now is sitting, was somewhat of a fame notoriety when it came to the jazz scene.
Crazy, huh?
You fucking me up right now, bro. Hold on.
If we like speed up, so let's say around the time of that, we off the porch, we kind of running around, still a black.
Real quick. So everybody today that represents not
the majority.
Fuck that. Different question. When people come and they think that, the black side of town of Portland is the north and northeast, that's really not the black side of town. The black side of town was before.
The black side of town was Montgomery Park area, and then the Vanport.
And then Vanport. So it was like Montgomery Park when they first got here, like you said. Then Vanport, where they relocated everybody because they built them little FEMA kind of houses.
Right.
So everybody had like them little
Vanport
houses that was
got
like, then it was like on pallets.
No, this is before the flood he's talking about.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
so this is like right before the flood.
This is when the Navy ships were coming in,
so
because
they
they were building the Navy
ships. They
ships.
building Navy ships. Everything was good. And then on some Katrina type shit, they kept telling them about the levee. They kept telling them shit was bad. And motherfuckers just ignored it. And then that night, the motherfucking waters came in there.
Destroyed the roller coasters and everything.
It feel like, I hate to say it, bro, if we talking like a premeditated plan, it was like, well, we don't need them anymore. So whoever don't make it, just don't make it. Let's flush the old
nigga. What?
That's the type of way.
That's the type of way a lot of people feel.
Yeah, like
because
if
it was
being
only
realistic,
niggas there.
Yeah, because it was only black people. So same thing with other areas that we've seen over history. Things have happened. Even if it wasn't just any indigenous people, they come through, just wipe these motherfuckers out. Like if you came through a roach spray.
So let me ask you
and
this:
it wasn't don't make it.
With you saying that onto some other shit, do you feel like Katrina was planned? Because a lot of people try to say that was, but it's like, how do you fuck with nature?
You could have fucked with nature, but they were telling niggas about the motherfucking hurricane for a year.
The hurricane, but then they say, hey, these things aren't holding. These levees aren't holding. That's just like Vegas. They got the Hoover Dam. This motherfucker bust, and if somebody's supposed to go through it every day and check the Hoover Dam, and then you've been telling me for a week, Hoover Dam fucked up, bro. It's leaking. It's dripping. We got cracks and shit. And I'm like, don't worry about it. 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 You feel me? That make you feel that way. Same thing with a bridge or something. Like they go through here, they check these trestles, they check these things, so they can make sure it can take the pressure, so they can make sure it can handle, due time, any of these elements. So it's like, so if somebody come and say, hey, bro, something wrong with this, and then we don't fix it or we don't alert the people, it make you feel like, well, bro, that's like if I came in here and y'all all know the chair faulty, and y'all just gonna let me sit in this damn chair because y'all know one leg is fucked up. He knows it's fucked up. He knows it's fucked up.
Prince fucked it up.
He might even told me it was fucked up and say, man, you might not want to sit in that chair, but it's fucked up. But everybody else is like, hey, man, go ahead, man. Don't worry about it. Do your thing. Yeah. Then I sit here, a couple minutes go by, I'm on the floor. Y'all like, yeah, that was kind of the end result. You feel me? Like, we ain't oblivious. What else is gonna happen? If he's gonna fall.
And what's crazy was for that statement to even say what you're saying, to me, I was like, yeah, I kind of felt like what you're saying, nigga. They kind of did like, oh, are we gonna do an extermination on blacks? But it was like at the same time, nigga, you had the area that Vanport was in. They also owned like the largest roller coaster on the west coast. They had the motherfucking carousels and all that shit. You destroyed.
We couldn't go there.
All that. Yeah, y'all couldn't go there.
Go to the other ones. See, now they had those carousels there, but a lot of motherfuckers don't remember Jensen Beach was a theme park.
Yeah.
That had no black people. Like, my grandma tell me about that all the time. She's like, we wasn't allowed there. She's like, we couldn't pull up there. We couldn't go there. We couldn't swim there. And this is when it was like a park with like pools and slides and all this shit. Jensen Beach. It used to be a park, like a theme park, like water
That's what
park
I heard.
and all that shit. And basically, like, they was using, because it was
roller
right down
coasters and shit.
Yeah, and it was like, motherfucker, black folks couldn't go there. And she used to say that. She was like, it was white only. And I used to be like, what? Like, and then it kind of transcended, but then by that time it was gone because they turned it into a mall.
So when did the mall come about?
I want to say like 70 something, like because it got the.
Was
things,
it built when you were a kid?
I wasn't born until 80 something, so I was still. When it first came about, it was like a different retail.
Yeah.
So it was a different, because if you go through there, if you walk through Jesse Beach, they got the little things up there where it show like their
The
first
old
ads,
school.
and it showed a lady, and she's like standing, she got like some bell bottoms on it. She was like 1976 or something.
Right.
And then it kind of like progresses from there. But then they show the ones before that look. I hate to say it, look like some shit that you see. You feel me? It's just a bunch of white people, and they all having a good time. There you go, brother. So and then they like swimming and doing all shit. You don't see not one brown skin in the ad, and you kind of like, oh, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I see the type of time.
It's like a lot of things is fucked up because it's like that. But then like, bro, we kind of like doing it now. I ain't trying to jump too many subjects, but. Even though how people be saying we doing it, we don't know we're doing it. We're like making things be racist without being racist. So if we say it's a black only movie or a black only thing, it's like we almost doing what they was doing to us. And
I feel that.
And I don't want nobody to feel like it's not accepted to them because we felt some type of way. We walk in here and be like, nah, man, this is black only business. And then it's like he still should be able to come in here and enjoy himself. We don't want him to feel like we felt back then.
A black only type situation? No. Black owned, that's different because it's you showing appreciation and really like pushing the line like this is a black owned business.
No, but that ain't the problem. It's when people, us as people, get that demeanor, like what they doing here. It's a black owned. Like some people got that mannerism, bro.
And
and if you ever notice they're looking at a motherfucker like what they doing here. This for the black.
This for the niggas.
It's like, whoa, bro, don't act like that because now you acting like them. You doing the same shit they was doing.
But it's learned behavior.
That's fucked up, ain't it?
It's learned behavior.
Ain't it fucked up? And we shouldn't be like that though. But that's fucked up that it's like that though.
Yeah.
But no bullshit. And bro, I sometimes don't, like go too deep. Ain't nobody trying to hear from me.
We had
go
ahead, because we talked about this.
But
talk that shit.
Some people don't be feeling that, but it be like, bro, we got to be realistic. If it was me and you, if it was us, like we're all in here together. Like it ain't I don't want him here or me coming here, but like. What's he doing here? And then I acting like I got a problem with him. Y'all like, man, what the fuck is Walter's problem with the homie? You feel me? Like, why he acting like that? Because I'm already told myself that he is an issue, a problem, or some type of threat, or he's not like us. That's not fair. Yeah. We're all here collectively, evenly. Or if I was like, I don't want to smoke if y'all smoking with him, y'all be like, what the fuck is your problem? But some people have gotten that in their head and they like walk around.
I had a nigga come at me sideways and told me that I was starting a podcast so I can go online and save my white friends.
See what I'm saying?
Ignorant.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I still don't understand what it means. But I'm like, all right, my nigga.
At this point, Mexican, brown, yellow, green, other race, creed, color. Like I always say, we on the same planet. We on the same earth. At this point, unless any of us about to be jumping to another continent or somewhere to another country, we all here together. So cats got to get past that shit. But when you got... everybody been kind of like sharing it lately. They said if you got 100 red ants and you got 100 black ants, they'll just be ants in a jar. He's like, but if you shake the jar up, then there's confusion in the jar. He's like, then there's motherfuckers, then they're fighting with each other in the jar. He's like, all kind of shit going on in the jar. Right. He's like, but if you just got it, they're just in there. This one's might be calling up the wall, doing whatever. This one's might just be all together, huddled together. But once you shake that motherfucker up, you done started some shit now. It's motherfucker, get off me. What you touching me for? Or just anything is like the energy and the vibe and the dynamics change. But I don't think people notice that though.
So are we right now in this current state that Portland is in? And we're not talking about Portland hip hop. We're not talking about Portland politics. We talking about Portland as a whole.
As people.
Is the jar still and we just in there living, or is that motherfucker shook up?
I think it's shook up.
I think it's shook.
And I think it's shook up in more ways than one. Even if it isn't red ants and black ants, it could just be all black ants. And all the black ants are shook up right now. That's like still it's shook up if motherfucker feel that they need to do something to this person and you ain't did nothing to me, but my family or my peoples is feeling some type of way, or I feel some type of way about my friend or whatever is going on, and then don't mix the world. I don't know why people don't act like this shit don't matter, but if I get up today and I watch TV and I'm like, damn, they want me to be angry about some shit, or they show me some shit that make a motherfucker angry. You know, like it's what motherfuckers being fed or filtered through.
Right.
So then, bro, next thing I know, I go to the grocery store. I've already got this in my head, bro. I've already filtered whatever through that, bro. And low key, how you felt earlier, remember?
Right.
You was like, one more motherfucking thing.
Bro, and I
The
was
shit
so
shook
dead
up.
ass, nigga.
It shook up at this point, so it don't matter, bro. If I came with you, it was like, which way to the rose? Get the fuck out my face, motherfucker! What you mean which way to the rose garden? At this point, it don't even matter what the saying. You so shook up, you like.
That's what that nigga said. He said, I could say, he said, bro, he said, Max so mad at me right now, nigga, I can tell that nigga nice shoes. He be like, nigga, say something else, nigga.
And then it is kind of a fuck you. It's a two-way street. It ain't you mad at other people. It ain't you mad at other races. It ain't you mad at your race. It's you mad at a specific somebody.
It's an
but then
agenda.
it got your aura kind of like that. So let's just multiply that with people.
This is why I don't even watch the news.
Even if it ain't news, bro.
Yeah.
Now we in a different era. It's social media.
I don't even go on social media in the morning. I
there's-
refuse.
Most of it is all still the guys to take your attention off of what's the real issue.
Hell to the fuck
And it's
it
not
is.
us. It's the motherfucker shaking the jar.
And that's what it is. Because if today there's things going on and we not all paying attention. I know I'm not. Let's say we all in this room right now. We don't know what's going on in Washington.
Right.
We don't know what laws they trying to pass right now while we over here smoking this weed. So let's multiply that by multiple households of brothers, multiple households of essays, multiple households
Talk
of
that shit.
Chinese people, whoever. They all sitting there and like they might be doing whatever today. They might be eating sushi or mushan hu or whatever. You know what I mean? But ain't nobody sitting here thinking about the other shit because we kind of so consumed with our shit. And don't let us get caught up with today take the mask off, today put the mask on, tomorrow we're going to do this, tomorrow we're going to do that. We can't even catch up with what's going on in the
Here's my thing,
United
too.
States because we can't even figure out what's going on in our own
Here's
county.
my thing too, because what he originally spoke on was niggas be taking everything as a racist. They be taking everything so quickly, like nigga, oh that's racist, oh that's over sexualized, oh you are now discriminating against such and such. Nigga, we are so focused on this shit that we not even paying attention to the shit that's going on in Washington. Oh nigga,
We don't know.
nigga, Me Too movement was going great, but did y'all see what the fuck was going on during the same time the Me Too movement was going on? No,
There's
you
shit
didn't.
going
Oh,
on.
nigga, how you feeling today? Oh, you feel stupid. That's what it is. Okay.
It is.
And not to say that the Me Too movement wasn't a movement and
Yeah.
that, you know, the situation, but it was like, yeah, they're going to press the Me Too movement on the media because they want you to overlook what the fuck is actually going on the motherfucking Senate.
Yeah, what's really good, the narrative that's
You
really
know,
going
how
on.
many, like the black on violence, you nigga, okay. I'm going to say this. As much as it was needed for us to see what the fuck was going on when it comes to Black Lives Matter, black men getting killed by the police, as much as it was needed to be seen in social media and the media pushed the line, it was an agenda to hide something that was going on in Washington that had nothing to do with the Black Lives
And
Matter.
what was
to
that?
keep the people motherfucker occupied.
You feel me?
Don't let your left hand know what your right hand
Yeah,
is doing.
exactly, nigga. Yeah, go ahead. The media, news outlets, push the Black Lives agenda where cops are doing such and such and killing black lives. Because at the end of the day, something here in Washington could have something to do with country to country war. It could have
It could
something to
be
do with
any of that.
laws within our people that now
But
we're
we
sitting
ain't
here
paying attention.
Nigga, when the Black Lives Matter movement was going on during the Obama administration, niggas didn't know that we had only a few niggas knew that we had camps here for that was housing Mexicans. Niggas didn't really know that. Then when Trump comes into play, everybody's like, damn, Donald Trump got camps for Mexicans. What the
But
fuck?
that's already been a thing.
Yeah, but no, niggas didn't know that during the Obama administration because we were pressing the news outlet on
The other shit.
the
just
other
anything.
shit.
Anything.
Yeah, the other shit.
Or
Cops
feeding
are
into
killing
what they're
blacks.
saying.
So now we got this whole little riot situation because cops are killing blacks. But y'all not writing about the Mexicans that are in
But
the
then,
camps.
like we said, all that shit gets swept under the rug because now, just like with everything else, motherfuckers' attention and went somewhere else. So now we're not even talking about it no more. It ain't even coming up as a conversation. And then if the news could get us riled up, and like the same way, like I learned this. My cousin had me. This is when he first started talking about rules and how can they control the masses. And this is before all this stuff was going on. He was like, they control us with schedules. They control us with business hours. He said, and the police are sheepdog. And when the dude was saying that, I was like, what? He's like, so if you a sheep and you out after business hours, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing out here? Where are you going? What are you doing? Because
that makes hella sense.
And even to the point too, when you the news outlets, the 12 o'clock news, 10 o'clock news, 9 o'clock.
So then you're
news,
going to be
6
scheduled
o'clock.
to be here.
Yeah.
So how am I going to be out running the streets when at 12 o'clock I need to be watching the news to get my update on what's going on? Because systematically, they're going to come here, get their information. Once we lost control of them and they mentals, and they like, nah, man, I ain't really watching that shit. They not watching it no more? Okay, well, I ain't going to lie. Part of me, I love the internet. But the other part of me, like when they be talking about, if we get into the Matrix, the Matrix was tossed at us and nobody really noticed it. If we said being real hundred,
it's true.
So if we in this fake world, and you know how they're like, it's fake, it's all fake. So you get on here, you got all this shit. It's like it is like make these fake ears, put these fake things on here, put your head on somebody else's body, put this video together, do all these things that. In this physical world,
the Matrix
you can't
is
do.
the internet.
So now the Matrix is the internet. So like Neo walk around, this isn't real. Yeah, it's real. I mean, what's real? Hey, walk around like Morpheus. So what's real? And so even with us, it's kind of like, so bro. I ain't gonna get too far off into it, but if we're being like fed, we being fed these things, bro, to be like. Here's these things that's being tossed out there. Yeah. So then pay attention to these things so that you won't think or you won't try to unlock your... Yeah. If you have superpowers, you can't unlock your superpowers like on the movie. Motherfucker don't know how to unlock his superpowers because he too busy like, and it's like, you have to think, use your brain or whatever.
The perfect
because you're too far off on this shit to even channel.
How the fuck can you channel that shit? So even if closing your eyes, if me and you sitting here, we all sat here, just close our eyes and was like, I'm on a beach. I'm walking through the sand. We're physically not there, but we're mentally taking that trip. Ourselves. Yeah. But if we too busy consumed with outside, leaves, garbage, bills, motherfucking phone calls, text messages, when the fuck do you have time to even use your mental when you have to deal with all this? And then all these things keep coming. So today, I'm driving, billboard go off, or today I'm doing something, my phone go off, or such and such, be like, oh, we running cookies. You know how you go into a website, then now you, everywhere you go, they like promoting the same shit.
But there's only a few chosen few that know that other world really exists, and they are taught to channel their brains.
Everybody has that opportunity because the moment you put your phone down for more than 10 minutes, you go, nigga, when the fuck did that building get made?
You start what you talking about.
So everybody has that
and
that
then
moment.
We go this way. Now I'm gonna get real deep with y'all. We all in here. We're all in this building. We're not physically using our brains or our minds to look in the building or in that window. We just see a window. Yeah, but there's somebody in there.
I fuck with what you about to say. I heard this situation on the Patch Adams movie.
So let's say on the car. So we won't even go that deep.
I fuck with you about to say.
When he said look past the fingers.
Yeah, how many fingers? Yeah, what he was like, how many fingers?
And we all sitting in there, and we all driving down the street. We know that it takes a foot to step on the gas. We know that it takes an engine to turn the pistons. We know all this. But when you look at that car, you see a car door. So you've already stopped at the door. You don't even look past to see you know this person's foot has to step on this gas, has to brake. So if they sitting at the light, you know their foot is on the brake pedal, but you already just looked and be like, that lady just sitting there. You ain't looked at, she's sitting there, her foot's on the pedal, the car is doing this.
Yeah, we're not utilizing the extra details.
We're not thinking past that. We just see the car. You know what I mean? And I think that's everybody because now we're being filtered through all these things. But if an X-ray vision, to look at your knee or your leg is taking this picture and it's moving past your skin and it's moving past your flesh and it's moving past your things. It's using the same shit that's available to all of us. We just aren't tapped in that deep. So our eyes or our vision isn't going that way.
So you think that
this nigga?
No, I actually believe what he's saying because they say we don't even use. I think more than 25%.
We don't,
isn't it right, Jason? You the good person on this one.
We don't. Like I always get into, I don't want everybody to be thinking about galaxies and the stars and all that. But it's like we have power, and it is not.
It's like the movie
so much
Limitless.
Yeah, it
The
is
movie
like
Limitless
everybody
killed
thinking
that
it's
shit.
all physical. It's like, nah, man. Ain't nobody said we supposed to be able to jump up, man, and we just.
It's even an interdimensional thing.
Yeah, if we even get that deep into it, but
When did you start like tapping into that type of energy?
bro, I'm gonna be 100. Like my
I would have
partner-
never thought my nigga was up on that type of game. Not to say anything bad about you, but it's
I don't
just
be talking that shit. Y'all,
Yeah,
y'all
you
post
just
that
be-
shit. I just posted shit.
you might post a new
A
car.
little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I don't get too deep into it because
You be
it's like,
posting your fits.
Oh, yeah,
some
he-
people don't be
he
like
fucking with the fits.
understanding it, man. Some people don't, they feel it, or they get to think, oh man, this motherfucker loopy, or he tripping and shit. Like I sit
No,
there
you
with my
just
partner
won't.
sometimes. This nigga be like, bro, I ain't trying to hear that shit right now. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm like, might be making a nigga nervous, or might be killing. He be like, man, this motherfucker got me thinking aliens is coming from the
Hey, bro,
sky. And
So
shit.
you
Well,
really- you
but
really
they
fuck
just-
with,
But they just said that's true. They
Yeah.
said they just released some footage, and not footage. Did they just release some documents from the actual U.S. government that say, hey, yeah, we got some shit.
But then this is a kicker. I can't get that far into it because, like, I was just talking to this chick and she was like, "Oh, well, are you spiritual?" I was like, "I believe in something. I don't know what to believe in because I don't know. I don't know if it's something."
You didn't go to church as a kid?
Yeah, I went to church. Like, I don't get me wrong. I grew up in church. My grandma, she took us there every Sunday. I grew up in a black household. Christian. Everybody.
So you into conspiracy theories?
Lightweight. I don't jump on board, man. I think for me, a lot of people say that like I'm more of like I try to figure it out, man. Like let me figure it out. And some things, like I said, I ain't no scientist, so I can't say the galaxy, the stars, and the atoms, and this is what we made up a new molecular structure and all that. I can't get into all that. I ain't got all that. I ain't got all that.
I think for me, when I first caught on to what a conspiracy was, and then like learning the definition of a conspiracy, and then what theory was going on at that point in time, I don't even think it was going on at that point in time, but it was the first one that ever came across me and had me stuck on YouTube for 90 motherfucking hours a day.
What you had to look?
It was the fucking Denver airport conspiracy theory. Y'all familiar with
No,
that one?
I ain't heard about it.
So the thing about the Denver airport was they made a second airport right next door to it when there was nothing wrong with the first airport. And then, like, being in jail, right? When it comes to the barbed wire surrounding the outside of the jail, which way is the barbed wire facing? Is it out or is it in?
It's out.
Facing
Its face is out.
Out?
if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's in.
Oh.
because
Is
They don't want
you
you
got to
to-
think about it like this. If it was facing out, once you got to the top, all you got to do is like throw
Oh,
your
yeah.
body
Oh,
over
yeah,
and
yeah.
you out. They want you in, so they got to keep it in.
So-
why is the surrounding part of the motherfucking the outline of the airport with barbed wire in? That's number one. Number two, there's a space underneath the airport as big as the airport with empty rooms in it. Why?
Wait, say
That don't make no motherfucking sense.
Wait, they
Is
just
this shit that you can see?
Right now,
and
you
look
go to the
up?
Denver airport, nigga, it's there. The paintings on the wall in the airport are paintings that represent I just had the word at the tip of my tongue.
Hieroglyphics?
Nah,
Or something
like
that?
new beginnings and motherfucking by killing. Like it's a picture of a bunch of army men killing kids, and then when and it's telling a story. So it's a bunch of kids. It's the army men killing the kids,
got to look
and then when
this
you go
up.
to the next picture, it's fewer kids in a happy place. So it's like genocide. You
Oh,
feel
okay,
me?
okay.
So it's like, bro, why is
So
all
are you
this,
trying to tell me that the Denver airport is
Nigga.
as an apocalypse shelter?
bro? Oh, not only did they have the rooms down there, but there's like a sprinkler system down there. So this is where my mind went with this. That sounds like gas. You trying to kill people using gas? Who did that? That's some Hitler shit.
Hitler shit. But then that's
In an airport, my nigga. People
Here's
frequently.
my question. Do you all do? So I see where you're coming from with your conspiracies because it's coming from actions being made. Do you also jump into the conspiracies when it comes to like, was it Wayfair? Wayfair, you remember the Wayfair
Yeah,
with
that
shit
the
was-
with the kids and there was-
okay. A lot of that shit, I ain't gonna lie. I don't overlook shit, because everybody say value and trust your information. Look it up, but I don't push shit past nothing because this is one thing I've learned about this. Just especially y'all, come on, y'all with the shit. So when you with the shit, you ain't gonna spare what you trying to do for their benefit. Right. I mean, you're gonna do what you're doing for their benefit, but it's kind of like I can't save everybody or I can't save every situation. So if I'm rolling down the razor and I see this situation out there, it's like, well, that's whatever somebody got her out there. That if she make it, she make it. She don't. Right. Now what I got going on that's gonna benefit me, it's beneficial to me. So I that's an interest I have at this point. So if this has no interest or it's no beneficial to me, whether it be us, you, me, like even with the scandemic and everything going on with that.
The scandemic.
If it is something like if we were farmers and people are livestock, if we were kings and queens, you a king, I'm a king, we all kings. We all kings in here. What the fuck we gonna do with these peasants? I'm tired of feeding these squabblers. Oh, king, such and such, you can't do them like that. Yeah, we can. Off with their head. Get rid of them. We don't need them. They're not part of what we need. And then the ones that blacksmiths, fix our horses, make our garments, keep our kingdom going, we'll keep them. What do we need with them? They're just eating up our food. They're just in the way. They're just squabblers. They're trying to climb into the castle.
They're not even farmers.
We don't they're not even farmers, so they're not bringing us food. They don't come in here, oh, king, and bring us gifts. It's kind of like the system is the same system. It's just a different form of system. Yeah. And I hate to say it, it's like even when it goes back into the animal kingdom, they say the king or the head of the pack eat. Then y'all have what's left. So if that's how it is with everything, if that's how this system or ecosystem is, we're going to get the leftovers or somebody's going to get these leftovers.
Not even to try to create a conspiracy. Do you believe that because of, you called it a scandemic, do you believe that because of what's going on right now where they shut down businesses, that made people home, the cause effect made people homeless, that now that they got rid of the weak link, now that they found the weak link, that you're going to now... It's going to be some sort of genocide to get rid of the
even if
homeless.
It isn't a genocide, not to cut you off, I don't feel like it has to be a mass genocide. And this is what I say for everybody.
Of some sort.
If we are cows and we're all out here and we're all in the pasture, or if you got cows, you walk out here, bop out, you shoot one of these cows in the head, you get the uproar like everybody did. They're acting crazy. They shoot us, they kill us. The other cows running and shit. We wake up today. Old Bessel die. Hank die. 4 cows just die. They just laid out in the grass. Me and you move. We just keep on going. We don't know what the fuck happened to them. It's a lot easier for it to go that way. But if you come up and air gun this cow, the other one's gonna run. And then when they see you coming, they're like, here he come. He got the air gun again, run. Versus, come on, I got some food for y'all. Come eat this food. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, all y'all. Come on, let's eat. I got food. So then if we get into talking about weak, and then I try to tell my partners, I said, bro, when they was talking about who's affected more with what's going on, whether it be viruses, flu vaccines, or anything, they usually say it's the kids and it's the elders. Kids can't make profit. They can't pay taxes. Elders, we have to take care of, and we have to fund
Social
them.
Security.
So these are things we don't need. If it's me, you, these are liabilities. They're not assets to our country. They're not assets to our livestock. We don't need them at this point.
Yes.
They're just in the way.
They have no value.
And then now, let's get into this.
Because you don't want to put out this podcast.
Let's get the money moving.
Yeah.
Let's get the money moving.
He's not lying.
So if you can make us some money, you're a good horse. Yeah. You can make us some money, you're a good horse. Oh, you can't make us no money. Throw his ass away. Yeah. He's a waste of resources. We're testing it to see what we can use. So even if it's a business, let's forget the PPP. They can't thrive, get their asses out of here. They can't thrive, get their asses out of here.
That's a business
We
call.
don't, business or no business, we don't need them as a person, and we don't need them as
No, I'm saying the nigga making that call, that was a business decision. You got to go.
Yeah. And now if the people in power that have the power, the elites, or the country, or the New World Order, whatever, each
Conspiracy
country,
talk.
each place.
Go ahead.
So if each place needs only the ones that can bring to the table, what are we gonna do with these ones that don't bring nothing? Like, what will we do with them? Like, what? And I hate to say, like, we
Off
want our
with they
kids,
motherfucking head.
if they ain't able to. Like, they got those movies where they be like, oh, it's only limited to this many kids because they're trying to, like, control population control. But it still kind of falls into the same thing. We need to be able to organize. Like, what did you say? I already got enough people in here today. Off with their head. I don't need them here. It's a structure that we all live by.
Why you use me as in?
Because it's the truth. It's like, but you could have had them here and then figured out a way to get them out. But they weren't here.
See, and that's why I was saying a lot of people are so focused on the Black Lives Matter movement, because if you really looking in, I think you have, honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I think you got to make a certain income to realize the bullshit. Because the moment I started getting income, I started saying, nigga, this ain't even a race thing, nigga. This is an income-based situation.
It's an income-based, but the race plays a part because each section, or the ones that make it out of that section, are worth keeping. Yeah. So then we get into this.
Because you found a way out.
But I'm saying
the celebs ain't cool.
Specific
They with the Illuminati. No, they're not with the Illuminati, man. They good horses that make money. So we're going to keep these horses. They're making us money. That's why when Lauryn Hill didn't pay them, they got on her helmet like, where's our money? You make some money in Africa and you didn't give us none? She's not thugging. She ain't in the streets. She ain't clapping niggas. Where's our money? You in our country, where's our money? We want to cut up what you making.
Right.
And you ain't giving us none? We're going to take you to jail. And this is a singer, Grammy-nominated woman. She ain't did nothing to nobody.
Nothing.
But it's like, you're our product, and we want money off of it. So what we look like housing products, and we're not making money off of any of these products. Everybody with a social security number is a product.
I was just about to say that too. Your social security number is really just a number. It's a valuable. It's your bank.
So
it's your actual
let's get
bank.
into countries. Hey, our stock make money. Our workers make money.
Yeah.
Our workers make money. Now the Chinese economy make more money, so now we got better workers. They're smarter. They're faster. Or we make it like this. Production. So then it's still a warehouse. It's still a corporation. And then it's like, well, what's your corporation making?
When the pandemic first got started, the reason that it is a corporation, when the pandemic did get started, remember they were pushing out bonds that you could buy. Those bonds were of value to what the pandemic was. So it was like, hey, the United States right now is worth such and such and such and such. If you want, because of the pandemic, if you want to buy into a bond program, go ahead and start buying into bond programs.
There you go.
And niggas was like, I'm going to get this bag. And then they went and bought into bonds.
Since we've been in this pandemic over a year now, do you think that America as just a whole, and not talking about everyone outside of America or the United States, do you think we are still in the red financially, or do you think we've made money from this?
How many fucking millionaires came out?
Definitely made money from this.
Nigga, they said...
we probably made some money, but I'm saying, do you think they really...
country itself?
Yeah.
I don't think we was in the hole.
We was never in the hole.
I don't feel like we were in the hole. It's just like if it was me and you come in here, you be like, I need to make more. So what can I do to make more? You have to create the urgency.
How do we
create an urgency? By telling people, like, I don't have control over what's in there. You don't have control over what's in there. But by telling us that it's a necessity and we need to do it, as in we, everybody do your part. Right. That keeps being pushed. Everybody do your part. Every time something comes up, you take it on as a we thing. You like, well, we have to do this. We have to do this. And when you be like, I don't care about that shit, that ain't my problem. It's like, because it don't affect you. But when it affects you, him, me, affect everybody. Right. So let's tell them it's going to affect them. Same thing with like everybody said, so now they giving out vaccines. Get some free beer. Just come get it. Get some free tacos. Come get it.
My cousin,
get some free shoes.
Went
come
and got
get
the
it.
vaccine
I'm
only
the
because they
governor
were going to give him a
such.
job. Not that this job said, if you take the vaccine, we'll give you a car. Well, anybody gets raffled in for $1,000, and then you also get raffled in for a car.
So
you got 200 people that just went out and did that because they want a brand new car and $1,000.
The governor raffling off $1 million.
Yeah, governor. One of the I think it was Iowa. One of the governors raffled off a full-term college education.
So it's like, what would make somebody offer these things when, like they said, so if y'all have money to get this shit away for things, y'all could have been gave this money away for things, but now all of a sudden y'all got money to get this away so somebody could go take some vaccine that we should be taking anyway that you say that we need.
Even with the vaccine.
Like, that means that your plan isn't working.
But
like, bro, that's like me, not to cut you off, Brody, real quick, but if you keep telling me, bro, I got free food and nobody's pulling up, you like, they don't want this shit, man. It's like, well, we need to offer them something. We give you free food and Starbucks gift cards, free food, and we give you some free gas. all right, I guess I'll take that little shitty ass food. Let's go give me some free gas.
Thank God I got health insurance. But you mean to tell me y'all niggas is giving away free shot or free shit to come get a fucking free shot of medicine? And my baby got motherfucking diabetes, and you mean to tell me her medicine costs nigga $2,500, $3,000,
that's the
$4,000?
mindset. Yours is the mindset of socialism. Theirs is the mindset of population control.
Population.
Okay, and if it's about not the population control part, but the reason why I asked you the question I asked earlier was, okay, if the pandemic situation is to get rid of the weak, which is kids and the elderly, you feel me? The reason why I asked about the money is it's because of how much money they've given us during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because they know you're gonna give it back.
Well, here's
So
everybody-
taxes.
Yeah.
But in a sense, and if we don't get it back, we'll know who to get rid of.
Yes.
Like, bro, it's just like me. You a loan shark. Man, I want this nigga little T, man, like 1,800 this week. He ain't paid it back. But Prince came back. Water came back.
So the niggas that's stacking they bread that got 10, 15 bands from all that bread that they didn't got
They
throughout the
might
state.
think it's cool, but it's still like the idea is you're gonna end up giving it back to us because then even if you file unemployment, you're supposed to sit here and claim taxes. So people, even then they do taxes, like you still got money. Like even I just learned that, bro. Y'all know I ain't been doing this shit like that. So I'm like, they want to know how much did we give you, and are you gonna give? And then they even sent out the 1099 forms. So if we send out 1099 forms, and y'all didn't file your taxes, Jay Smooth, Jay Butter, whoever got it, somebody said it's like, all right, well we're gonna come looking for you, or the people that already done got picked up on whatever, for whatever, even if it's fraud, even if it's address, whatever, just they getting people for whatever. So it's kind of like, once again, either we get them on the grid. So now let's just say they don't go to jail and they don't do no hardcore prison time. Now they're part of our system. Now they're gonna have to pay restitution, probation, whatever. You're gonna court fees, something. You're gonna make us some money.
You're
some
gonna
way.
pay for something around this.
Yeah, we're not gonna be really losing money. We'll be gaining interest off of. And then if you're still here, and then you get a job, we're gonna end up taking the money out of your check. Or if you still here and you start a business, we're gonna get it when you
Now
pay
you're
your
fucked.
taxes.
Income taxes. Yeah.
Like we're gonna get it some way on the back end. And if not, we'll still get it because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna spend it here. You ain't gonna take the money and go to China. Niggas ain't getting them bags. Hey, they ain't get them PPP loans and leave or move out the country or go buy a villa in Mexico or something or some shit. Nigga, they would have blew that shit in their old neighborhood, or they would have blew it at the stores. The stores that the other people already have stock, interest, and money involved in. Like now, we all kind of learning about how the stock shit work, and everybody getting on it.
Yeah.
And they talking about incorporating these things. Somebody was just talking about cryptocurrency, and it was like, we are going from physical money that is supposed to be backed by gold, that this money is backed by the gold backs us, to something that is nothing. So it's really nothing but numbers. So once we rule and vote, I don't want this shit no more. I'm tired of America money. I got crypto. That we all jump on board. Then there's just nothing. It's just there now. That would just basically nigga spinning space dust. Nigga just walking. You spinning space dust at this point.
You're not lying, because the value goes up and down with Bitcoin.
Yeah, so today we all could be balling. You got 100,000 in Bitcoins tomorrow. You know what? We just dropped it down to $5. All you ballers that thought y'all was up with your Bitcoins, we control your numbers.
Dangerous.
We control your profits.
That's hella dangerous. Fuck
Because
that.
how can I come in here and be like, man, I got backwood coins, bro. I got buy some. You like, I'll take.
Then that
backwood
means a
coins.
motherfucker. That means a motherfucker can control what's in your bank account at the click of a motherfucking.
Yes.
Yeah, it's even.
Oh,
you don't have to get into your bank
on bullshit?
no more.
Say
We don't
another
gotta get
motherfucker
into
word. I
your
put this
bank.
bitch to 50 cents.
We don't have to get into your bank. We control
it itself.
There we go. So remember before, we need your login. We don't need that login and password. What do you mean? We just control it. And if we're testing this like tests, and they're willing to go along, and we're seeing how it works, and they're with it when it goes up.
Look at what's going on right now. The Bitcoin was $15,000, and then Elon Musk gets on the shit and says nothing, but puts in his bio and says Bitcoin. That shit went up to 30,000. So you telling me, and that's why I have an issue with Bitcoin and I have an issue with cryptocurrency, because you're telling me that as long as a celebrity or a high-powered, profiled person mentions you,
They
your
have
shit
the control.
jumps. Your shit jumps. Oh, so the value goes up because of a nigga said something.
But then we're trying to figure out who's the fiddler on the roof now.
Yeah.
Who will they listen to? So we need somebody, and I hate to say it, whether or not whatever culture, we need
Whoever's
somebody that will convince the people, because we're gonna make them sound like the Messiah.
Yeah.
So like, let's say, bro, if such and such came out, he's like, yeah, y'all got this new shit in Portland, and everybody like listening to him. So tomorrow he come out and drop some shit. It's like, you know how many people just go buy it just because it's him? You know?
It sounds like zombie thinking.
It
like
is.
we're
It is.
bots.
No, yeah, it
We
is.
are, but we don't know it because we've all been like,
The Matrix.
It's been trained to
I
go.
just say it's
Conspiracy.
kind of like getting us all like circled around. So we all kind of like confused. All right, Brody. And then we all trying to figure it out. We all kind of be in that same loop to where we like, I don't know, but I know. I think I know, but I don't know. And then, like I said, once we filter all this other shit, when are we even thinking about it? Because we too busy dealing with,
Social media.
bro, Dad. Okay, so now let's get on here. Challenges, you know, some people are like, oh, they got you doing these challenges. Some challenges is made up by these people who have college degrees that are meant to be the same thing as marketers. What can we do to get the people going? What can we get them riled up? How can we get them rallied? How can we, you know, like nobody woke up today and was like, you know, if I go outside today and I stand on the sidewalk, people are going to stop and stare at me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they might. But if I go outside with a loud horn, balloons, flowers, whole bunch of other stuff to get people's attention.
Pop-up dancers.
Hey, shit going to fireworks. People gonna start looking like, what's going on over there? So it's kind of like, these things are just, you know, they're meant to like get people's attention. So like we said, if they got us all in the facade, bro, I'm over here like, I'm in the fog, you in the fog. I talk to you and we talking about Bill Cosby, or we over here worried about, not even saying it like that shit wasn't real with the Wayfair shit. If we can get ahead of it, or we can control the narrative, it doesn't matter what they think or what they say. We'll just make them go this way.
What do you
with the
think it's
story.
going to take for us to be able to get on board to control the narrative? And when you say we, who's we? Us as black people?
I feel us as people, not just black people. I feel all people, because even when some people of different races are kind of like blinded, they got filters and blinders on, and they've got them thinking that it's certain people that are the problem, or it's a certain genre of people. It's like, no, these are things that we all like. No, I didn't wake up and know that. I know I was a person, or I knew I was something, but I didn't know I was black. I didn't know I was African American.
Until you said
I didn't
something.
know. And I didn't know that African American people got a high risk of high blood pressure. The fuck? How would I know? Somebody had to tell me these things.
Yeah.
I didn't know that we came here on the ship. Somebody had to tell me these things.
Right.
So none of this shit was known until somebody told me. Then I hear this story again. Then I hear this story again.
Now it's
Then
implemented.
Now it's implemented that this is the story. It's implemented that this is the routine, or it's implemented that this is how it goes. So if we, as people, and not just black people, the same way that they got white people that to say, go back to where you came from. Do you know where you came from?
Motherfucker.
Or are you just going off a story that you've been told? Like, are you really from here? Is your ancestors from Ireland? Are your ancestors from somewhere else? And then, like, they would just show like a map back in the day. They're like, these maps. I was like, who the fuck how did the people know these maps was real? I said, who was drawing these maps if they didn't have Google Map and they didn't have satellites? I was like, so how was these astronomers knowing that this land was shaped like this? I was like, I'm not trying to be funny, bro. I was like, but this seemed hella, some stuff
Well, even to that point,
because if we say
it was even to like, not even to cut you off like that, but it was even to the point where, nigga, they were saying like, oh, like right now we say Europe, Asia, Africa, the West America,
Right.
South America, right? So North America, the West Americas, but North and South America and that shit too. If you go look at the older maps, it's like these niggas was saying Africa, or no, it was Afro-Asia, Asia, and that was it.
yeah, there wasn't all these other
There wasn't all
places.
these other continents.
So then they like, I don't know
Afro-Asia.
how it worked.
It was
I don't know.
something Afro-Asia, but
Like, it's so much-
Africa was not named Africa by us. It was named by somebody else, but it was considered Asia.
and like they say, African people, Asian people kind of have tendencies look alike.
Yeah.
Just a different color tone because of where they're at. Now I ain't gonna we ain't gonna get too far, going too far back. But if people come together and like I said, if we've all been on this system to where it came from kings and queens or it came from thrones or whoever was ruling stuff, it's like the people gonna have to rise up. That's just what it is. But if the people don't rise up, because like right now they're like, oh, the people control. No, we don't control it. I don't control Bitcoin. You don't control Bitcoin, so the people don't control it. Some server controls it. Who runs the server? Because I swear for God, internet go down tomorrow, what is anybody gonna do?
Yeah.
Anybody. And this goes across the board. You go to the store, they're gonna say, oh, we can't get on, we can't get a signal, so we can't buy this, or we can't go out, or we can't, your card transaction didn't go through because it can't catch the merchant or whatever.
So everybody want to put their money into motherfucking cryptocurrency, and the internet go out, we fuck.
No, well, we kind of already fucked because the bank accounts are set up digitally.
Everything is. Yeah. So like I said, we're on this scale today. If you don't have internet, nigga, when's the last time you used a map? Where is your map? On your phone.
If
the
internet...
Wagoneers came here, like I was like, so they was coming across land. They didn't know shit. They just walking. It's me, you. We got wagons. We got horses. We just dragging this shit. My feet tired. They fucked up. I'm blistered. And you like, man, just keep on going, man. We gonna get, I don't know, however they called it or whatever. And they just kept moving. And this is just evolvement. Now we're in a position where motherfucker get on that phone, like the chick was like, I don't know how to use my map. I was thinking, God forbid, man. Little house on the prairie, man. She wouldn't know what to do, man. Lord, your water be stuck somewhere in the woods, man. But we didn't have to use these things because we've been using these things. But
are you games with a map?
Yeah, bro. I came from the era where I didn't have GPS. Everybody just Tom.
So when I first time on the road out that big ass paper.
I had maps for California. I had maps for Oregon. I had maps for Washington, bro. Like, bro, I literally my first time driving back from Vegas, I came up to 95, and I didn't know what it was because I never been on no back freeway, right. And we ended up driving up to the 395, and that took us all through the back shit by Bend and all this shit. On the map, it looked like it was quick. Now, if I was to type it into my GPS in a day like this, it would be like, hell no, that motherfucker ride gonna take you like 2 days. But on your thing, it's gonna be like fastest route, next option, whoopie-doo. Right. Bro, when would I have knew that back then, bro? It's like, I just got this map. I'm like, damn, all right. Okay, so, okay. I was like, let me get a little marker or something. Stop it. I'm like, all right.
When niggas had to carry pens and markers.
Yeah, like, bro. Hey, and then the kicker was I used to get them at like Jubits. Truck stop. Yeah. So I pull up there and they have them, or a 7-Eleven. They always have like little thingies right there at the front.
Hey, man, if you ain't never used a map a day in your life, or you don't come from that era, you're not a road runner, bro. You're not, bro. That's a legit road runner, bro.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, bro. And that's like, look at the era we in now.
Yeah,
ain't nobody using that like that, bro.
Do you feel like, because
my internet go down?
You said being back in the day. You said you were talking about before when we got started earlier. You were talking about seeing through shit, like being able, like, that's a car door, that lady just sitting in it. But you said before the X-ray takes a picture of what's past the skin. You feel me? Do you feel like in order for them back in the day to have made that map, they had already had the capability to look past that skin? And then now, because of the internet and everything, now we have shut that part of our brain down.
Yeah, because you envisioned what the next part of your trip, or you envisioned pulling up on that next city. So, and on the map, you would say, I'm headed up to Seattle. On the map, you would say, next little city is this, next little city is that, and you would kind of like base it off of that. You would like go off of those little stepping stones. Right. But now it's just Portland, Seattle, 3 hours. There is no 0 to 60 in between. The in between isn't there anymore. Yeah. Like you're not thinking about a rest area. You ain't thinking about stopping. You ain't thinking about where you go get some food.
Well, the way these speed limits is going, nigga, I'm gonna be there quicker.
Yeah, and then in your mind, you're just here or there.
Right.
Like they said back in the day, like I because I used to watch the movie Cars with my kids all the time, and so they used to like,
Route 66.
yeah, the Route 66. It was like back in the day, people drove
was
it
with the Disney shit.
for the experience. They drove it to see stuff. He was like, now they drive it to get somewhere. Like that shit don't matter. I'm trying to get here as fast as possible, the shortest amount of time. A trucker ain't going, yeah, man, I'm gonna take the long road, man, go drive all up to Spokane.
I'm gonna keep it
I'm
a
thinking
buck.
about
I'll do
going
that
to
now.
Montana.
I'm gonna roll me up, nigga, about a good zipper or two, nigga. We gonna take
But
the
that's
route.
because, again, the income changed.
There we go. You in a position to where you're not in
Fuck
survival
you.
mode
Yo,
either.
that's him taking a shot at me, bro.
Hey, that changes the narrative, because if it was like on a mission, it's like, bro, I gotta get to this pad, bro. I just gotta get there.
I've been walking slower ever since my pockets got fuller. I ain't
Hey,
definitely gonna lie. I've been walking slower.
I've been walking slower since my pockets got full. I feel that.
Yeah, you feel
Now,
me?
this nigga be trying to talk shit to me, talking about, nigga, I act like I got a bunch of money, you feel me, on some high diddy shit, but then I
he
be
a
broke.
cheap ass nigga, bro.
I'm not cheap, nigga.
This nigga dead ass looked at the flight lounge and said, "Hey, I ain't mean to really cause a huff or nothing, but I remember that price was $3 cheaper last week."
I was just saying, nigga, when you get something every day, it's like,
You like, damn, y'all done went up.
the fuck happened there?
Hey, you like, hold on,
I said,
man.
I got the dub for you.
But to speak on what he's saying,
I'm a penny pincher too, man. Don't mind.
I'm somewhat. I'll shop at Amazon here and there. I'm somewhat. You know, I just work a little harder to get the money back. That's how I see it.
I feel that.
But to go on what you're saying, I feel like the only way the people could get that back, and a lot of people here in America hate he using the word, but I believe socialism needs to take place in order for that to happen, because
Jason, you disagree?
yeah, see, I told you a lot of people hate that. I believe it needs to take place because
For the people, hold on. For the people that don't understand what that is, explain what socialism is.
I'm not going to be the best at that one, but I'm going to explain. Just imagine a world where you no longer have to worry about health care because it's already guaranteed to you, to the point that, no, it's not free, but yes, it is taxed. So you're telling me you're going to tax me just a little bit more so that every nigga in America gets top grade motherfucking medical?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm with that. Imagine, but I'm saying you're having this mindset coming from, nigga, I had to pay fucking taxes and I had to also pay for insurance.
Yeah,
so you're coming from that. But if you ain't never came from that mindset of I had to pay to get that, and you came from the mindset where, hey, nigga, that's a human right. We just got to pay taxes so that everybody gets top grade. You're kind of already in the mindset, all right, cool, I'm with that shit. I'm with that. Oh, you don't have to worry about housing because something's already available, whether they're taking care of it through taxes or whether they're taking care of it as far as we're going to give you income. Like for president, he was trying to go for president. His name was Andrew Yang. He said, listen, we live in a world right now where the majority of the industry is not human based anymore. It's robotics. Mm-hmm. And the big tech companies like Amazon, Apple, and them, they're the majority consumer too, as well as the majority on the business side of robotics. We should implement a tax here in America that says we should tax the tech companies for taking jobs away from the people.
Oh God!
And he said, and basically what we would do is we would then turn the money that we get out of there, keep a portion of it for America, but also distribute that out monthly to the American people. Hey, we know that you don't got that warehouse job anymore because the robot took your job, but guess what? Based off that company existing and based off them taking that job, you got $1,000 a month in your pocket.
Yeah, like here's a bonus for you.
Wouldn't and then it goes into the fact too, and that's why I said I feel like socialism would take effect, because I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. If I don't gotta worry about $1,000 when it comes to trying to pay bills, and I only gotta worry about maybe 2 or 3 that I can take care of, that 1,000 is gonna be a blessing. So now it opens up more free time in your life. It takes away anxiety and stress. It takes away to the point where depression, and it also takes to the point where when you have less anxiety and depression in your life, when your sadness is gone, your creativity is improved.
Definitely.
You had to step. You got to step out your corner. A lot of niggas don't realize that. I had to step out. We grew up 162nd Burnside. Niggas go, oh, Yes, you feel me? I grew up in that era, but the nigga, when I stepped out and I went to, oh, this is a coast, oh, this is a beach, oh, this is cross country, or this is that, this is how you living, oh, y'all not mad about the situations that's going on that I'm living through? Oh, nigga, maybe I gotta step out my mindset. And when I did do that, that's when the creativity of the businesses and all these entrepreneurships came into play. Cause like I said, I started walking slow when the money came through. Once the money came through and I realized what I was originally mad about and stressing about was minuscule, because the money's now there, I can think about different shit. And that's why I say socialism goes into play.
What I was saying earlier, remember? I was like, if we're filtering everything through those things,
right?
How can I get my abundance?
How can you be successful?
How can I be successful? Right. How can I even know what success is if I'm too stressed?
Yeah.
Do you agree with the whole socialism?
To what he said, I feel where he's coming from. I mean, don't get me wrong, because I don't know the 100% breakdown of socialism.
But how he's explaining
but
it,
the way you're saying it makes sense to me. Because even when you said if they were to compensate us for these things, because right now, if we weren't so stressed, if people weren't so worried, and then even if it comes down to
not
the job,
from the robot perspective, but more so.
So socialism is more of a ideal where everything is given,
to
and
people,
you may have, but you
okay.
have to be taxed. Yeah, there's still a bracket where there's going to be richer and poorer, but just know that you're still going to get the EBT monthly food stamps. You're still going to get the monthly checks, Social Security. We already have what's the other one that I'm missing from food stamps that you get for your kids? TANF. You still get the TANF. That's all already socialism. But we're all as Americans taxed to take care of the TANF, the food stamps, the Social Security, and all that.
Do you remember when we had the conversation about population control?
Yes.
So this is my thing about food
this
stamps.
Goes back into
I
that.
understand, or I think I've came up with a way for us to be able to throw out food stamps.
There is a way.
And it was the motherfucking, what I was saying, like people needed to put in have an application to reproduce, not on controlling them, but more so like, okay, if two people had a baby without that application, it's one of those things where you're not penalized and you're going to jail, but the jail part is to help you. So as a man, you either can go to boot camp and learn a trade, or you go to the army. As a woman, you're forced to go into some kind of program to learn how to run a household. So when you guys are done with that
or a
sentence,
job.
quote unquote,
or a job,
you guys don't need help because now you sufficiently as a team know how to run a household and take care of your family. Which you need EBT
here's
for.
the problem though. Here's the problem. What if he learns that trade? He's successful for like 10 years. Mm-hmm. Accidents happen. Mm-hmm. The nigga loses his leg. Mm-hmm. He can't do that trade no more.
Yeah, so
now it goes back to the government help.
So but that's not EBT though.
But here's what
it's
I'm saying.
not EBT though.
Here's where I'm getting at.
And you're not gonna feel bad about helping him.
Right.
The thing about EBT
it's
and people that people
trade.
Yeah, you feel me? If it's a person that was once taking care of himself and they need help, that's different.
Here's
but
what
for
I'm saying,
to depend on.
So socialism to me is you don't necessarily need it, but if shit was to happen, you got it.
I feel that.
The government, like for instance, like one
that's different though.
But no, I'm saying, and that's how I feel about socialism. Like, yeah, for socialism, maybe you don't need food stamps, but just know because we pay taxes and we do what we do and we take care of what we take care of. If shit ever came down on bad times, you got it.
But that's different because not everybody, as of right now, in this day and age, everybody doesn't think like that because you got to think about it like this. How many people
but that's because
sitting on their ass?
That's how we feel. That's because we're paying taxes for the right people.
So when you think of everyone having health insurance and we're just taxed a little bit more, that's where the comes into play because I work my ass off.
But here's the thing though, taxing just a little bit more, sometimes y'all don't even realize how much you really getting taxed for certain shit. When you really look at it, nigga, you're paying how much for health insurance for yourself? Right. Maybe $200-$300 a month. Nigga,
I feel
some is higher. But I'm saying the majority person usually pays $200 to $300 a month on their own health insurance, unless they're getting it.
If you have the family and the top plan,
unless they getting it from their job. See, if you paying for your own health insurance and you're not getting it through your job, it is taxing.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah,
from a job I've had.
From your job, yeah, it's a little $23.95 out your paycheck and shit like that. It's the same. But here's the thing, though: the businesses have to. The reason they give you health care is because the government won't. If you remove that $23.95 or $47 or $136 out your paycheck because the government says this is mandatory for you, you save $130 something. You feel me? And then on top of that too, out of a person who doesn't have a job and he has to pay through health care for himself, nigga, you're telling me that my taxes yearly may be $2,000, but I won't have to pay $400, $300 a month on fucking medical. You're telling me that my transplant meds, and this is a true story. My grandma has one kidney. She just called me yesterday and was like, I just had to spend $500 on transplant meds. I said, who you going through? Who's going through it? Oh, they said last year I made too much, so I don't qualify for free healthcare. So and because this year the pandemic happened, I'm paying out of pocket.
See,
so now you go into the situation where if socialism kind of existed, my grandma wouldn't have to worry about paying for that shit when it comes to her transplant and it comes to those pills because it's already given to you. The only difference is that pill may have cost you, not to say that pill itself, but that situation for you to continuously get that may have cost you only like $2,000, $3,000 in medical bills. I mean, in your taxes. Yeah, you may have to pay higher in taxes, but now the shit that you're paying $500 for, $100 for, or the job is saying, oh, I have to stay at this funky ass job just because of the benefits.
You're paying more with it not being like that versus just paying one lump sum a year.
Think of it even in the situation of, nigga, if we start the
putting it like that, I'd rather do that. Fuck it here.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel exactly what you're saying because what I would say is, let's say you know how you like, let's take care of it, take care of the people. We're making money. The country's making money. Yeah. People are, like you said, they're paying taxes. You would say, like, why should I have to pay? Who's managing the money is the problem. I think everybody's so busy. Like I said, we're all caught up with this. We ain't went past that.
Why does the taxes even cost that much?
And if the taxes do cost that much, who's facilitating where it's going?
The IRS, which is not even a fucking
government
let's say when we
make money
thing.
Here.
It's not even a government thing. It's not even a company.
Taxpayers pay for it. They're like, Oregon taxpayers covered this road. Peabody gonna get out here and fix this shit. We don't need you to plant more trees, Peabody. Yeah. We don't need you to fix this sidewalk, Peabody. Yeah, we might need the street fixed, but this slab of concrete right here ain't important as it is to feeding some people or giving them some health care.
Right.
So if we say, hey man, we got a budget. I'm about to spend part of the budget on backwoods. Bro, we need food. What we gonna eat? Man, fuck that food. I'm about to get some tree. There's somebody controlling the budget. You know what I mean? So it makes me think, like you said, first thing I think, well, who the fuck's controlling the budget? Who, whether or not be Oregon, the country, who's deciphering what's gonna go where? And then we got $1 million if you come, or we got 50,000, or we got this if you come take the vaccine. So whose money is that? Is that taxpayer money? Are you using our money and you're gonna fund that?
And here's the thing, even to the point of that right now, currently, the Portland Vancouver merger when it comes to trying to build this damn bridge. The money was sent. They didn't have that money. They actually go out and they get funding for that bridge through the government that they have to pay back through the taxpayers, which is why they created their ideal of we're going to start doing tolls on the bridge once it's made. So it's not even Oregon's money, not even the Oregon people's money.
Well, Oregon and Washington.
It's Oregon and Washington going to Washington, D.C.
And it's going to be
paying them back on the fucking bridge. So, we're not paying Oregon back, we're paying them. And if that is going to
be our bill, why can't we go apply that same infrastructure to these things?
Yes.
Why can't we go and say, hey, we don't need another fucking bridge. We need people to eat. We don't need the Tom something footbridge for bikes.
Yeah.
What the fuck purpose is that?
Fuck them bikes.
Excuse me, no disrespect to anybody that ride bikes. You know, I know this is Portland. I know everybody ride their bikes. That ain't the issue. But there are things that can wait. We can come back to that.
I feel like
we could have did that later, like whatever that costed. And then there's another, like,
there's an important agenda and a miscellaneous agenda.
Yeah.
Let's take care of one of these important agendas, and then we'll get to the miscellaneous, and we'll start knocking it back to back.
But like you said, instead, it's we got the money, but we're telling y'all we don't have it, so we need taxes. We need to tax people. And then a person like him was like, well, if we got the money, why we just can't do it like this? Whoa, man, listen to yourself, man. You talking crazy. Socialism? No, you just talking like that now. You just talking crazy. But in reality,
that's exactly what it was.
Feel like you, that is the other side is like, well, why do I need to take care of them? Technically, we're going to end up spending the money regardless.
We're taking care of them already.
But this is why I said that. It's not like, okay.
I ain't saying you personally,
no,
but that's the idea because they're not using your tax money the right way.
The reason why I would be against it is because there's people here that are lazy as fuck.
No, here's the situation.
They wouldn't get it though. Those would be the people.
No, socialism doesn't take care of necessarily the person and say, nigga, you don't have to work, you don't have to do nothing. It's just the ideal that as far as the human right lifestyle of you, nigga, I deserve to at least have some shelter. I deserve to at least have some food, and I deserve to at least have some free health care.
And I agree with that.
But if you're lazy as fuck and you're not contributing to it, at the end of the day, you still got a mindset. We're taking care of this situation through taxes. Somebody gotta work.
Some people don't work.
Yeah,
so if there's more people that don't work versus the people that do work,
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Here's they getting a free ride in life.
Let me ask you a question though.
Is they ride free because are they in the same position? Are they in the same boat? That little food stamp money ain't the same thing. Like I ain't gonna say to throw nobody.
Yeah,
out
we
there,
know that.
But I had somebody's food stamp card recently, and they was like hounding me. They called. They're like, "Where my food stamp card? Where my food stamp card?" Right? I'm like, "Damn, but I didn't even use the shit yet. Hold on, but we'll get back to this." Like, oh, I'm trying to get the cash off of there. I check it's $17. I'm like, damn. They really need that $17. Now, mind you, I don't know what they do or don't got going on, but they definitely ain't in the boat to go blow no bag. You feel me? If you feel what I'm saying. So even if they ran through their little bit of money that the government did give them, they not doing the shit that you taxpayers is doing. They definitely not about to go and eat Roof Chris. I mean, maybe not, but let's say you like they eat Roof Chris every weekend, and then for them, they get that little first of the month thrill, and that's it. You can get the whole month thrill if you want because you're handling your business. Right. So we got to be reality of that. Like plus, they think they might be getting a free ride, but they getting like the free ride, if that makes sense. If you the free ride that they get ain't that one. They down in the luggage compartment with the bags. They not even in coach type shit. You feel me? Right. So in life, if you're working, you taking care of business, you got coach. If you really handling your shit and they giving you tax breaks and you making all this money, you in first class with the elite.
And you gotta realize too that not even the ideal Andrew Yang giving us $1,000. That $1,000 monthly stimulus check, we've already received it through the stimuluses. They already, here's $1,200 for you this month.
But this is stuff that could have been
This is shit that's already been established in Alaska. Alaska's already established this.
Yeah, they've been giving people money.
Nigga, you get a stimulus check for having oil, for them taking the oil out the...
No shade towards people that are Native Americans. They get a check.
Yeah.
They get a check, and they get a check. And this is the kicker. They get a check because they are rightfully owed that check. Right. So I ain't saying like everybody else get the same check they get. But there is funds there that can be sent out that people can have. But if they're telling you, man, we only got $1 million to do something. We're gonna go build a new park. What the fuck we need a new park for? That can wait. You get what I'm saying? So there is time.
And here's my thing.
And then you'll be like, I put my money up. They took my taxes. They were like, yeah, but Joe Blow took your taxes and built and wanted to go build a park in a neighborhood that you don't even live in.
And here's my point to that.
You and your kids ain't even gonna never see.
If you today, who is about to head to work, even not even to get on the conversation you were, because I want to go back into that. But if you today we're headed to work, you're gonna have to work 40 plus hours a week. You really need this money, right? You got 2 kids at home, you got your wife at home. If I called you today and said, I'm about to send you $1,000 just cause, click, hang up the phone. Nigga, what are you doing?
Oh shit, I'm trying to get off work early.
Exactly, because now you're getting creative about the shit that you can do. Nigga, if you get, I'm not even trying to speak hood shit, but if you give a nigga that is from the hood $1,000, he either gonna go spend it or he gonna make a play off that shit.
I'm gonna make a play.
Exactly. So you're telling me, if I was to start the ideal of socialism, if I was to implement that into the government, and I make the lazy nigga who doesn't know how to fully function at a McDonald's, but he knows how to make plays, and you say, he lazy because he's not working at this job or Walmart. He can at least go to Walmart, but he don't know that. He don't know the functionality about that. He can't function like that. But he can go and do a hustler little, hey nigga, as long as nigga just give me $1,000, I can flip this bitch to fire.
Nigga, that's how I got my podcast started.
But I'm saying like some people will call you lazy then off that shit. But what I'm saying is, And once a play was made, you were established to then run up the bag. You feel me? You were established to get that shit going and flipping. So if the mindset is, I don't want to do that because these niggas are lazy, what if that $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month that they're giving that person ends up making that lazy person into a fully functioning business now?
They never thought about that.
Nigga, I don't give a flying fuck. They can do whatever. Nigga, I'll let that shit stack up, nigga, my unemployment for a whole motherfucking year, nigga. While within that year, I was figuring out what it was that I was trying to do and how I was going to execute it.
Because you had more time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. When you stop worrying, and that's what he was saying, when you stop worrying about the shit that's going around, the bills, social media, the fucking, why they saying that this and this is going on in the news, when you stop worrying about that shit and you stop worrying about, nigga, I gotta pay
nigga
rent,
can really do some
he
shit.
can really open up
Because
his
you can
mindset.
focus.
You can focus on what you want to do.
Don't focus on their target. Like, okay, and then I'll get into this. This is another thing. As us as people, right now we in here. I'm like, bro, I gotta get to the Rose Garden. You like, all right. I'm like, man, that motherfucker far. If I just sit here, I'm no closer to the Rose Garden. If I walk outside and I'm outside, I'm steps closer to the Rose Garden. Motherfuckers don't take those steps.
At all.
So once they don't take those steps, and then that falls back into you. So now you got people that ain't took those steps. But there is people that's like, now I got this, I can make a play.
Yeah.
So now he's going to start trying to make his way towards the Rose Garden. Now, it's fucked up. Everybody might not do that. The other nigga might still sit here and be like, I'll go to Rose Garden tomorrow.
It's the passage
he might not get
from the
up
Bible.
and get on that shit, and he might not get on his shit.
Yeah.
And then he might sit here and order pizza.
There's
Another
a-
couple days go by. Now
yeah.
he done ordered DoorDash. A couple more days on by, so now he just withering away with what he
There's
got. And once again,
yeah.
he's not utilizing it, so it's kind of fucked up. And it goes back into when I said they're like pushing the money out.
Yeah.
Whoever does get it, and they do flip it. Like I said, for them, that is a good horse in the race.
Yeah.
They're like, we can use that horse regardless
Because you
of
flip the play.
however he did it. Sole proprietor, S corporation, GM Motors, whoever, whatever.
And this ain't new. This ain't new because I think this has been going on for a minute because I think it was a Bible verse or I think it was just a parable, but it was like two slaves went to the master and asked for money. The master gave both of them the money on a loan. He said, come back in 30 days and pay me back. The slaves leave. One slave spends the money, uses it, builds a business, builds his success, has the money back. The other slave just buried it. Come back, bring it. All right, slaves give their money to the master. The person who made the money, made the business, made the success out of it, he says, not only did I bring you back the $1,000 or $500, but I brought you back $22,000 because you let me make that play. Then the other guy says, I just got the 1,000. That master's gonna look at that person who made the play and say, I need you and value you more than I value that.
him, even if he brought me back my 1,000.
Yeah.
Cause I can do with that, but it ain't doing no justice.
This shit, when I figured this out and had put two and two together the other day, the shit low-key pissed me off. So, before me and this nigga took our women out and went to dinner and shit, I went to K-Town first. It was me and my wife.
Right.
Come to find out,
Love that place.
bro, fire. The manager that owned that spot is the nigga that owns the whole lot for top to bottom.
Right.
So he owns top to bottom.
The one in Hazeldale.
He owns both.
He owns all the top to bottoms?
He owns both top to bottoms and
like
the
four.
lots that they're at, and the K-Town in both.
Oh, he's smart.
But he's not from here.
No.
So my question is, how is it easy for people that are not from America to come here, start up businesses, but the people that are here need help to live?
No, you want to know what it is?
Some. Not everybody, but some.
You want to know what it
Great
is?
question. Great question.
The reality is that they're trained differently.
They are.
We are in a system, and I told you about when we had a podcast when it was just me and you. I said I went to a high school that taught. I was one of the I think it was 200 eligible students. We got the ticket to come to a high school to learn about stocks. And when I was in and out of private school back and forth, even in private school, I was already trained that you need to open up a business and that you need to be successful and you need to do this. Whereas when you were in public school, the trades that they gave you was mechanic, woodworking. You feel me? It wasn't business oriented. It was trade, work for a man.
Work,
You feel me?
labor,
So
labor.
When you come from out of country, and we're not just saying like these niggas was broke and then they came over here and did it. No, these niggas was trained and successful. Their families was there. They still had education, just like we had education. Their education was different. Their education taught them that it was a necessity to be your own business.
So you're saying that the reason why there's not more Americanized mom and pop stores is because we're not trained to be.
One, we weren't trained. We were trained. No.
Yeah, I feel that way. I
No,
feel that way.
well, we
all
were.
across the
Well,
board.
now, but before there was mom and pop
No,
stores.
forget
There was
that.
a shit ton of mom and pop stores before.
Let's-
We got
But
trained
there's
that
more.
we no longer
You can't
needed
walk down
that.
the street without
No, but
having
let's
an
be realistic.
African clothing store, a Chinese this. You feel me?
But in the
there's
50s,
more of those
in the-
per
But that's
strip.
because, but then you got to remember that is what I've learned too. They're getting grants, they're getting loans because
Yeah,
of these
they know the
certain,
systems.
these certain scenarios that we don't know. You don't know it. He don't know it. He don't know it. I don't know it. We're not applying for those things. We're not digging in those. If that makes sense,
Right.
We know grams.
It's there
we know
for-
weight. We know work. Y'all niggas know baking soda. Niggas know that. You feel me? That's a conversation. Not to say it like that. I don't know what was brought up in his household, but like I talked to a chick. She's like, she grew up on a farm. They cut chicken heads off. They did. And nigga, I ain't seen that shit. You ain't seen that shit. Man, you
know I
know
mean,
they got
growing
no
up.
eggs from out the thing
I
and brought
did.
it from out the.
I see.
Okay, not saying like that, but you know, you
I
get
grew
what
up
I
on
mean.
typical average
You get what I
Negro.
mean? A typical
Yeah,
motherfucker
yeah.
hasn't seen it, so how would they
Yeah.
know
No, we to
how
the
to
point where
run
we
it
say,
or do it?
that's some white shit. When they do some shit like that, we be like,
But
that's
then
some white shit.
it's being trained to do it that way. So if I was dropped off on the
Yeah.
farm today and I got these shit kickers on, I come out there in my wife shoes and shit, I got my clothes on, I'm not prepared to do what they would do to be successful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do.
It's uncomfortable.
And if I don't know how to do it, how would I be a great farmer? How would I have great cattle? How would I have
The
good Angus
world,
beef?
the world to us, I think it was Switzerland. They called us a third world country.
Yeah, because they're like, you motherfuckers don't know how to do these things. The things you know how to do are like artificial shit that don't. They know how to do these things. Like, okay,
We're steps ahead
what
of
is
you.
it? Is IKEA from Switzerland?
Yeah.
Or it's from Switzerland. All that shit is put together yourself shit,
Yeah.
right? It's all put together yourself shit. So me and my partner sitting there, and he was like, damn, bro. I was like, bro, the funny thing is I've never had to get IKEA, and it took more than one person because it was like me and him together, and we looked hella stupid. We looked like two stupid-ass Americans, man, trying to figure this shit out. We looked like two stupid Americans
On our
trying
last
to figure this shit
podcast,
out.
I told these niggas, I'm like, I'm the nigga that will go to Walmart and find a motherfucking barbecue pit and tell the motherfucker, not only because I want it cheaper, because I know it's gonna be about
instant
Let me get
$60
the one that's already
cheaper.
put together.
Nigga, what? Load that motherfucker up, nigga. I'm not putting this bitch together.
But then in another place, like you said, they are trained to do these things. They know how to do
That's
these
just
things, whether or not
natural.
it be business, whether or not and then like you said, they'll come here and let's be 100, bro. Until recently, even in our community, even in black community here in Oregon, a lot of people weren't getting the bag via entrepreneurship. So they weren't doing entrepreneurship to get the bag. Motherfuckers getting the bag.
So we
But
not
they
in
weren't-
those positions because we're not trained to be in those
You weren't
positions.
Hell
trained
no,
and you were
my grandma
knowledgeable. You
wasn't
weren't
doing that
knowledgeable
shit.
about it.
My grandma, my mom and them didn't know no motherfucking credit. They don't know nothing about that shit. Like, I just started helping my mom with credit, and she's 60 years old. So if that's 60 years on this planet, that's 60 years of her just
You gotta
not knowing.
understand,
feel
if
me?
you're only told in your school that you should only know math, history, knowledge, and then go learn woodworking, mechanics, go do the what's the other shit that they have,
Carpenter or whatever,
and all this shit.
or just
pole,
brick
fireman,
laying, some shit like that.
You're being told as a child up until your youth, and even to the point now, Joe Biden's saying he wants an extra 4 years in high school because we're not even. He wants to hey, we need to get smarter. Put an extra 4 years
And
in
then
high
now,
school.
if
But
he is serious and he wants to smarter, he feels that we're not
adequate
to the other people.
Yeah, but but what I was saying was, but what I was saying is, if you're being trained to have to do something for a job, and that's all you're being trained, and you're not trained to know how to go search for the grants and the funding that is already available to
How
you.
would we know?
How would you know?
I got another question on that.
And that's real.
For we talking about niggas from the U.S. American, right? Same school, elementary, yada yada yada. One grows up to be a good high level ranking employee for a business,
and the other one ends up starting his own business and being successful. Which one grows up to be a Democrat? Which one grows up to be a Republican?
I low key became a Republican. I ain't got there yet, but my income changed.
I don't know. To be
It
honest,
was-
I don't
it
even
was-
know.
This nigga came with
No, it's no. I'm being honest.
I don't know how that works.
They both. I feel like they both would be a Republican if their income is big. Because
I don't know
here's
how
the
it
thing:
works.
when you start.
Jason couldn't take it. I wish they could see it.
No, this is the truth. Listen, well, I'm gonna be honest. When I worked at Best Buy, I wasn't making enough. I was not making. I had to find roommates. I was just fresh out of high school. I was living with like a couple roommates. I was probably getting like $16,000 a year. Nigga, I was barely banking it on the car payments alone, nigga. I barely had enough. My mindset on, this should be free or this should be cheaper, all this, was because I was only making $16,000. When I hit past into above the 50, my mindset was like, nigga, you got to think about, $1,000 for the MacBook is expensive. But then when you start hitting that different tax bracket, you're like, nigga, $1,000 for a MacBook, it may be
I
expensive.
feel him to a certain
but
extent.
I got it. You like,
I don't know if that'll make me change political parties because I'm not part of one yet. But I feel you still.
I'm
You
saying
like,
as far as the Republicans go, a lot of Republicans are in that different tax bracket. So the things that they're worried about, I feel like have nothing to do more on the financial side, but
You got it.
because you got it. Whereas the Democrats, even though some of the Democrats do got money, their fight is more like human rights fight because the people who they're fighting for don't got it.
See, that's the side that I'm on.
okay,
You
so are you
on
for the people
some
or
baller
are you
shit,
for
nigga?
the ballers? And then I guess, and then that turns into Republicans
When you become a
and Democrats.
baller, nigga, would you not want to? Hey, nigga, if
Some
you a
people
baller,
ain't.
I'm gonna keep it a buck
Some
with you.
people ain't. They still
they're-
for the people.
Nigga, me and bro saw a nigga in the streets when I was promoting the Side of Baby shit.
Fuck me up.
Nigga. I knew the nigga because the nigga used to be at my home, and me and this nigga used to do night rides and woo 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 type shit because we was from the hood, right? Dude and me knew each other. I don't see that bro no more. One, because he's homeless, he in the streets. One, because I'm not even in the same hood or the same territory or the same street block as that nigga would have went and saw me in. Because I have moved and leveled up.
Fuck that. That's what happened, but he's not putting it how the emotional connection to the situation
I
really
don't
went.
have it no more.
This nigga is out there promoting motherfucking shows, you feel me? We out there doing what niggas with a
outside.
bag do. We walk into our car, you feel me, from after just promoting this big ass show and doing what we doing, and he see a nigga that he knew on the ground, fucked off, bummy, all the shit. And the dude that seen him was just so happy to see someone that he knew. And it was one of those like, I know who that is, but I'm gonna keep it pushing. Not saying that he did anything fucked up, but it was from the outside looking in like, damn, that's a fucked up ass situation. Imagine you being who you are and you seeing a nigga today.
And he trying to like, man, what's up with you, man? And he like, hey.
He just showed love. He was
Nah,
like,
he was
man,
just showing love and saying
he was
what's
like,
up.
He was like, yo, Prince, nigga, how you doing? I was like, I'm doing good. And I kept walking to
And
the
he kept
car.
walking.
And
Kept
he kind of reminisced on the back in the day.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
you
like-
remember me? We used to
Yeah,
whoa.
he was like,
And then-
you still got your spoiled Prince clothing line out? I was like, nah, nigga. I was like, I fucking with rappers now. And I got in my car and trying to keep it pushing. But the
But it's
reality is,
fucked up, man.
I would never think about cuz like that. As far as the homeless situation, I wouldn't even think about, I need to take care of my little man who's homeless,
I
because
don't
my
think he was
mindset
thinking
is
about.
Right here.
I was gonna say, I don't think he was thinking about like downplaying him or nothing or blowing him off.
No, I was just saying as far as that mindset goes, once I started getting the bag, my mindset was if I could just move out or I could go take care of my shit this way, I'm not gonna see that no more.
Right.
I feel
me?
that too.
So I feel
Vice
like
versa.
so I feel like people can become Republicans in somewhat of a manner because as soon as they get to that income bracket, bro, you used to live in a trailer house. Used to live in a trailer house with five people, and 3 of them were kids, and it was mom and pop, and then grandma came in. Now you're in a trailer park with 7 people, and now you go make an income doing a trade line or something like that, where you're learning a trade, or you're a foreman or whatever, and now you got this big ass income, nigga. You gonna go buy the house on the hills. You're not gonna have to. And now you
feel
got
that.
more space, and now that you
That
have
don't
more
mean-
lifestyle, you're not thinking about other shit like that.
And I say that to say this, that don't mean you still can't be for the people. It's still up to you.
But
you know,
I feel like
I don't want
you
to say
have to go back to be reminded.
Okay, now
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, now we get into that part. So now if we be realistic, like you know how motherfucker got to be back around or to come back around their people or go to that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like when people be like Jay-Z don't come to Marcy Projects. I'm not gonna come there so y'all could fuck me off, trick me out my position. Now that is a totally different story. Republican, Democrat, that's just position in life. You kind of elevate it for a reason, but it's kind of fucked up because some people still want to do good things, but like you said, they don't want to be around that. They don't want to see that. Like that shit do kind of fuck with you, man. Like I'm gonna be 100. And since we get into this, because like sometimes I see people and they're not in the best position, and it like. I used to kind of feel bad, like I had to turn my volume down because I'm like, well, you know, like I don't want to be inadequate around them because I don't do the big me, little you shit. I don't come in here like I'm big dog and talk that big dog shit or nigga like my bag is bigger. Like it is what it is.
No, but if you're in a position to do something for yourself, like, okay, not to put your business out there or anything like that, but when you was campaigning about being the first nigga to buy the horsey that you bought, nigga, I was rude. Like, my nigga fucking off a bag. You gotta have a bag to be in a position to be the first nigga to be buying this kind of car. You feel me?
And even
that
with
doesn't
that,
mean that you're.
I'm not trying to say anybody is
That's your
not able to
accomplishment.
do that. To me, it was like I reached this pinnacle. We all could reach this pinnacle.
Right.
I'm, you know, I was the first motherfucker to pull one of these through here, but that don't mean I'm the last. That don't mean that motherfucker
You
might
can do it.
Other motherfuckers, I done seen other niggas, they rolling around in rapes. I still ain't been in no rape. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no rape. I ain't got
Here
the
in
Phantom.
Portland.
And I done seen ball players. I done seen different motherfuckers. I seen motherfuckers roll the ghost and all kind of shit. So it don't make me feel like I'm inadequate to them. I feel like I need to just keep working to reach where I want to be.
Touch the rape.
But when I go through Lake Oswego, I feel out of place, and I say this. I know I'm not in that bracket. I know I'm not an NBA player. I know I'm driving through here, and I'm and to me, I feel.
No, you ain't
I don't feel like I'm out of place, but you know that this. I don't want to say this isn't your place, but the reality is like this isn't. It isn't as
You're not
comforting.
natural.
It's not natural.
Yeah, it's not
but
natural.
then if I come over here and I be with my peoples, or I'm on MLK and I'm around my peoples, like. We went out and I had on like, you know, they got his t-shirt on, got his baseball cap. Nigga, like I'm around my peoples. It's cool. It's a vibe. I don't feel like I'm out of place. But then at the same token, there is, like you said, you'll see somebody from your past or you see somebody, you're like, damn, look where they are at. And it does make you feel kind of like, well, damn, I'm still for the people, but I just can't be a part of that. Or I don't want to be around that.
And that's what I'm saying. For me, as far as for me personally, the moment I was able to take my kid and put him into a better position as far as living, I no longer felt interest to say I got to bring the hood with me.
And that is two different things too. Because
you
some
being a
people
man.
feel that they need to bring hood or they need to bring
Well,
street shit.
I'm not even saying the
We
street
don't
shit or
have
hood. I'm
to-
saying like just the involvement of I gotta come back and care about you guys as far as you guys we gotta work together to empower you guys so you guys can do what the fuck you guys need to do to get what I got. No, nigga, if you saw that that it is capable for a
as
nigga
possible.
to actually do it, nigga, you should be on your ass trying to figure out how to copy or mimic the
'Cause a motherfucker-
because it's possible.
And that's
Hey,
what makes it
basically,
hard for me to
if
say,
you're-
yes, we should pay a higher tax and all pitch in
Well,
for
no,
the...
I'm saying for the bag. I'm not saying for your health care.
But that's what how you explain that is how I'm thinking
Yeah.
about the healthcare part.
I
But-
feel that
but-
both ways, but that's why it's certain, like Canada, they're giving away free health care.
Yeah.
So it's like it's still rolled into whatever it may be. So let's say
I think we should have
they're
free
giving
healthcare.
away food stamps, and they're like, well, you get 500, you get 500, you get 500, but you need this, so you only get this much because we're gonna take out X amount for these things you need.
Right.
You need this, so we're gonna take out X amount. Now you still get 5, you still get 5, you still get 5, and you ain't doing what you need, or the things that you need is still extra. If that makes sense. So it's like now we're just kind of like throwing out more money.
In my opinion,
We all start with a set amount of number,
Yep.
but because your needs are different,
The
certain things are
deductions.
deducted.
Yeah, that one.
I like that.
And the
I
thing
like
for
And then,
that.
like you said, and if it's already going to be a set rate for each person, which makes sense, everybody would get it. Like you said, grandma's bills is more, so she might need her $500 to go towards that.
Yeah.
Then there might be other things that she can use or utilize so she can get what she needs if she can't afford it.
Right.
But like my grandma, she got dementia right now, and I want to put her in one of them places. I don't want to put her like she's out the door like Happy Gilmore. That motherfucker like what did she say? Can I bother you for a warm glass of milk? You can bother a warm glass of shut the fuck up. All right.
He ain't never seen the movie.
No, I seen it. You know what I'm talking about? But like, it's this nice place over there, and this chick worked there, and she was telling me about it. She's like, it's like 8 bands, 8 to 12 racks.
A month?
A month for her to be there for her needs. So she tells me what happens when people can't afford it. They try to help them. They try to get them little
assistance and shit.
Assistance. They're like, but when they can't get them no more assistance, they ain't got nothing they can do with them. And I was like, so I mean, they'll just like kick them out the street, like drop them off and shit. But they like literally like, if their family can't afford it, I'm thinking, who the fuck can afford 8 to 12 bands on top of their own bills?
Right.
And even if you is or isn't in that paying, you know what I'm saying, that tax bracket, it's like, bro, that's a lot of money. You feel me?
Yeah.
And if we talking about yearly, so who got that bag extra to float? And then if
it is 10,
your grandma or your peoples or somebody, or how you say your daughter has special needs, so she might not need those things. But then that would be one of those things that be like, well, this is a specific case. We know she's not about to go blow the bag and spend 10 bands at the casino. So if we can do it, we'll figure out what we can do. But if it's somebody else like, man, I need 12 bands for what? The fuck you need 12 bands for?
In my point to even just food stamps, I feel like food stamps should be regulated a little bit differently. I feel like there's two different options. I remember growing up, and we used to have to go to St. Vincent's for the food banks. And when we got there, they would be like, how many are in the household? How many are kids? And based on what they gave or what our assessment was, they were like, oh yeah, you can go in the back and you can grab 2 loaves of bread, 5 pieces of this, the milk is this. It was it was food. It was the food bank.
It was like a food bank.
It was
a food
bank. Yeah, we didn't have WIC. We had food bank.
But that's a good thing
but
too.
I feel like food stamps should be regulated to the point that they say based on your household and based off your assessment, you can go into the Walmart but you have to get at least 12 pieces of fruit. At least 10 pieces there.
But that's WIC, because when you have WIC,
but it's
only limited on those people.
But if it was let's say if it was just vegetable voucher, meat voucher, or protein voucher, you feel me? So then it wouldn't have to worry what they're spending it on. You wouldn't have to be like, it would be we just gave such and such 600 in food stamps, and now she over here selling the shit, and she ain't even buy no food for her kids, but she out here turned up all weekend.
I see what you're talking about.
You feel me? Because now it boils back to what you said. How do we know that they using the money? They just out here living scot-free. It's like, well, you can't do that shit with that shit.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it. I don't want to be that type of person, but it's like, well, maybe they only need to be able to do those things. So then you won't have to say, well, they spending 600. I sold 300. So what'd you spend the 300 on? Some shit. You know, I bought some clothes. Bought a
no one
Michael
really
Kors
wants
purse.
to be that person, but we got to think about, nigga, what's good. What's good for the greater good of the colony.
No, but you're only doing that. You're only selling your food stamps because you're trying to make a play, because you don't.
Not everybody.
No. Some people are selling their food stamps because 1, they're trying to make a play, or 2, they're trying to make bills. And that's what it is. Some.
Or there's niggas that's selling $200 worth of food stamps for $100 just to go buy some weed, my nigga.
No, I'm saying
they're
making a play. Like they're making a play off of it. That's what I'm saying.
Not
but when you say make a play, I'm thinking
we know that they're like getting it to get it. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to say it like that, because like I said, old girl was telling me about that shit, and I was like, do you need me to go get something? Do you need me to go take care of something? She was like, no, I just need it. The fuck you need it for? Like, what the fuck are you possibly
what are you gonna
doing
do with $17?
You know, even if it wasn't just a 17, it was like, well, if you need the rest of it, what you gonna go hawk it and try to sell it to somebody? It was like but then the idea is, I hate to say it. That's why
I feel like we should.
And I felt like it wasn't me, but like and now mind you, I was like, well, do I need to regulate what you doing with your food stamps? Like, I'm a grown ass woman. Yeah, you a grown ass woman, but Obviously, you not.
Right.
If you over here squandering, you told me you already went to the grocery store and got everything, but now you need your card.
I remember.
So did you go to the store and get everything you needed, and your house is full, refrigerator stocked,
Right.
and you got all your shit? But then you over here like, I need my card, I need my card. Drugs or no drugs, it's still kind of like, well, are they doing what they need to do with it?
I remember my
and so
first
if
time
I'm
doing
not
that.
over here splurging, selling food stamps, telling you, hey man, hit water up, man. I got food stamps for selling right here, man. I got EBTs by the caseload, man. And versus me being like, these are things that need to be done because I know what it's going to be used for, what it needs to go towards. And somebody was like, well, I know that you got kids. I was like, yeah, I would utilize it for my kids. Before I go here, man, and be like, nigga, we making jungle juice all weekend, y'all. I got the fruit, I got the mix up,
We got the
wings.
blue lemonade.
Yeah, you be like, oh, this nigga, they got the wings, he got everything. And I'm basically not using it what it is intended for, which is still kind of like fucked up because, like you said, you want to believe this shit's being used. And I ain't trying to be one of them niggas, you know, like, motherfuckers should better use it. But if they not really helping their kids or their family, that's what the motherfuckers gave it to you
I
for.
remember going into a Winco's, and I was with this chick, and I went in there just to go in there. She was going in there to get stuff. She said she needed to get some groceries. I remember leaving the Winco's and looking at her shit, and all she really had was cookies, chips, snacks, and soda. And I was like, yeah, you the type of person that never needed this shit.
Yeah, and then what you're gonna do is go to 7-Eleven and run it up. So you're not gonna go stock.
Yeah, you're going to
up
7-Eleven for the
groceries for you and your
Slurpees.
kids. You're gonna go buy a little knickknacks. Now, don't get me wrong. It's supposed to be used for whoever needed. But the whole purpose of them giving you this is so you can prepare for your family.
And the same thing
You have
goes
kids.
into even for the businesses when it comes to funding.
And-
we have this ready, prepared for you to build this business. The funding and grants ready. You just got to utilize it correctly.
And if they utilize it correctly, regardless of race, creed, or color, this shit works. Okay, prime example. Pandemic hit. A lot of motherfuckers don't know. We don't. Why would we know? The Jade neighborhood. Where do y'all even know where that's at? That's 82nd. That's over there where all the Chinese stuff is at.
Oh, okay.
Jade neighborhood. When you drive that and it got those it say Jade
Between 82nd and Division. all the
about
way
up through there. And if you never
Washington
noticed,
on
they
Star.
got the garbage cans and they say Jade. They say Jade on it. They were giving out loans to businesses in that neighborhood during the pandemic. Why the fuck would it apply to me or you? So we wouldn't get that loan, and we're not in that neighborhood.
And that goes back to what I was saying about.
Now that ain't
motherfuckers having-
Chinatown, no, but that
It's
ain't
not,
Chinatown
but
downtown.
What black person or even how do I say this? A white person that is in the same, we're all in the same predicament, ever have a business on that part of that
No,
street?
But here's the
He could
thing:
have a
it's
business.
gentrification.
Now, a white person could have a business. There's a Bud Landy over there. I don't know if the Chinese people own that. It's two cats over
Woodstock
there.
is
It's
right
some,
there.
It's some black cats I know over there. They got a detailing
You
shit.
got
And they
car-
sell
it's
cars.
all a bunch of car
And they sell the
lots.
little car lots. Yeah, it's some black cats that own it. They could have got that loan. I don't know if they applied. You
But
get
where
what I
their
mean?
car lot is for that area, it's like you got it based on
But-
the first two lots that where the cutoff is, made it.
But
That's
here-
just so
here's
happened.
So
the
let's
thing.
say if they
But
didn't get it.
they weren't just the only ones in the community that were getting it. There were other communities here in Portland
That got probably different ones. And then
Yeah, I
that's
didn't
when
know that.
Yeah.
the people got mad when they had the black resilience or something. They was like, oh, why they only give money to black people?
I did that. I signed up. I
Each
said that to you.
neighborhood had something, and then this is a representative for your culture, for your people. So I can't get mad if, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, if Chong Lee's people is over here going extra hard.
And I'm gonna,
You know what I'm saying?
I'ma
I
keep
can't
it-
get
I'ma
mad
keep it
if
a buck
Jackie
with
Chan's
you.
people is going extra hard to get Jackie
There-
Chan and them the money.
there is-
And then we got
I'm gonna need you to stop saying Jackie Chan.
no disrespect. And then we got Jerome over here. And Jerome and his partners is like shooting the shit, and they not really putting in the effort.
well, no, that's not even. It's not even that though. What it really is it's taxes. When it comes down to it, it's census and taxes. That's what it is. If you don't know about census, basically,
yeah, because they say
they basically will
Neighborhood
tell you, yeah,
people.
you actually. A lot of people don't know this. If you have a business, you actually get a credit for having a minority in your job. But that's why everybody says they always are looking for that one black guy. I'm the black
He's
guy.
a trophy
Yeah,
guy
he's a trophy
because-
guy. He gets a credit. They get tax credits off it. So when the census comes up and the census say, hey, based on the information you gave me, you say you're African American, you say you're Asian, you say you're this, you say your income's that, you say your household's that. Based on that, this is your medium income. This is the average income of this community. Okay, now because we find out it's the average income income of this community or the average income of this city or certain situations,
Certain neighborhoods.
taxes get paid a little differently.
Yeah,
and when
'cause
taxes
it's
get
certain neighborhoods, you're right.
So when taxes get paid a little differently, things like better schooling, better policing, better street work, all that shit can get distributed out. So of course, if you live in Lake Oswego, you pay a higher tax bracket. That's probably the fuck why
Yeah,
Lake
to the fuck
Oswego
yeah.
looks like the fuck it looks. That shit look like goddamn Hollywood District down
Yeah,
there. You
and
feel
this
me?
nigga
like
talking that
and
shit.
then that's being 100.
But
like,
then you go over to the motherfucking nutty North St. John's where the majority of the household on that motherfucking
Or-
side is under 30, and the niggas who own half the house's value are under 200,000. Nigga, your taxes ain't
Can
matching
you
up.
even swipe a EBT card in Lake Oswego?
You can.
Now.
some,
can.
maybe,
But you gotta realize
that's them places where they got the sign that say we now accept EBT.
Yeah. the gas
you know it's
station.
that'll
okay
let you
here.
know. But no, when you the reason I say that because even growing up, my mom wanted to put me one of the best schools in Vancouver when we moved there. But I ended up, because of my district, I ended up having to go to Hudson's Bay. My mom was trying to fight for me to either go. You said what? Yeah, no, fuck you, nigga. I don't give a fuck, nigga. I didn't like Bay either. Fuck Bay, nigga. I was in there for like. I started September. I was arrested and kicked out the whole school district in December. Nigga, they're like, nigga, what the fuck? We don't want this black ass today in Fort Vancouver. Nowhere.
I love how when he tells the story, and depending on how like hood it is, nigga, I don't want your black ass anyway. But when we get to talking about food or some shit, bro, nigga, the Mexican in me, nigga. What?
Hey, we didn't want to hear that.
Yeah,
No, but,
nigga.
But back to saying though, my mom wanted me to go, and she was trying to get it going. She was trying to get me a Skyview or Camas because she knew the education as well as the team for sports and everything was completely different. It was better off over there than it was at Hudson's Bay or
Okay.
the Fort Vancouver area.
Now, being realistic, growing up, that wasn't a thing in my house. Grandma may have knew it, but she came from Chicago. So that wasn't a thing. Chicago was
For what?
Chicago. Just, like education, pushing.
Oh, okay.
So she wasn't really adamant on knowing where's a better neighborhood, where's a better school, if that makes sense. You feel me? So
It was just
that
about
was
cost
never
of living.
Yeah, that's what they've been survival. It's like, well, this is cheaper, this is less distance. You ain't gotta go that far to school. This is what you're gonna do. I don't never think, and then there's people I know that like they went to like downtown to like Lincoln. And then went to other schools. And then now I know why they went to Lincoln. Or per se. My daughter, I was like, well, what school do you want to go to? We went and did the thing over at Open School over at Grant. We went and did Jeff. And then my daughter was like, I want to go to a private school. Now, mind you, this is what she wanted to do.
Right.
Now,
I fuck with private schools.
that made me look at her different about what she wanted to do because, we live on this side. She
If
lives
my
on the-
child ever come to me and like that, I want to go to a private school. I think I'd be.
And then we had to do what we needed to do to get her in there. And it was still baffling to me because that wasn't what I wanted to do. I thought that shit was weird growing up. I was like,
I went to a private school. I love
I
it.
thought it was weird because where we came from, that shit was Joe Collins shit. You get talked about like that. And that's fucked up because our system, our neighborhood has made it to where it's like you look weird if you're smart. You look weird if you try to better yourself. What you doing, man? Oh, Joe Collins
Especially if
ass
you from the
motherfucker.
Man, right now, y'all made fun of me last week. I think it was last week about it, but
Are you complaining?
no, y'all.
made fun
I'm
of
saying
me
y'all
last
made fun of y'all did, because you're agreeing. First of all, time out. You're agreeing with him, but you was making fun of me because I was having I said middle class issues, and
Bro.
the thing is,
Middle class issues.
right now at any moment, my family's getting irritated with me because I'm asking my grandmother to help me watch my son, and the reason I'm asking her to help me watch my son is because I don't want to put my son in daycare until we find the right daycare. And
Okay.
and because we're going through all these daycares, a lot of people think I'm talking about kindercare and shit like that. No, I've been talking to like monasteries, for the French monastery daycare. I've been talking to the Uno Dos Tres Academy. We're trying to figure out what would be better for my son for the next 2 years to help advance him into kindergarten.
Not
'Cause-
just him sit there and watch SpongeBob.
Yeah, we're trying to.
And I don't
asking-
want him to sit there watching SquarePants all day.
Yeah, one of my biggest things was when I talked to one of the schools was, do y'all speak English?
Academy.
It was the academy, yeah.
I'm saying
it was
when
the Uno
comes
Dos
to that
Tres
kinda-
Academy. That's
it's
what it
the
was.
ones that have a curricular.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I asked her flat out, do y'all speak English? Or because I see uno dos tres, y'all speak English, y'all speak Spanish. They said we speak Spanish to the kids. I said that's the type of shit I need. I want my son to actually learn something, and so that when it comes down to it, when he gets into when he starts moving into the elementary school, he may be so evolved mentally that they say we're gonna skip him a grade.
That's what you
know what
want.
I'm saying?
But you're planning that.
But I'm saying now we have, I think it's because of the income difference. I think it's because of what society has brought it to. Now we don't have to look at the cost of living and doing all this crazy stuff because now we're looking for the purpose of even going to it.
Like, don't get me wrong on both accounts. Like, I know everybody, as far as we get into income, I think even without it being income, I think we're more aware now of how much that shit makes a difference.
Right.
So even if you are on a higher pay grade, I think people now, because even if on a pay grade period, because so many people before, or I grew up, uncles didn't have no job.
Right.
These niggas was hustling, or my mom was kind of like doing whatever. She wasn't really like working. And then when she did, she was like there, and then she wasn't there.
Right.
So we never really seen nobody do these things. But like now my sister, she like holds down a job. She do her shit. I was thinking, that ain't shit we saw. But now we've gotten to a better place in life. And I think it still falls because she's not on the best, as far as income. She ain't like having it her way, but
She got
her
it.
resilience to be in that position and what she was just willing to let her son deal with and not deal with is way different. And I see that as things have evolved. Same way with me. That shit used to be kind of cool. Like I done had situations where it's like, yeah, my dad's a P, and it was like, God forbid, I'll never push that type of shit or talk any street shit to my kids,
Right.
bro, because it's different now. We know what that shit in the end result is gonna be.
Well, too, I want to say in the past, being that way and pushing that line that's the type of person you were was beneficial because it made you money due to the circumstances of the government not giving out that chance. Now that they have that chance giving out a little bit more and you're able to do a little bit more out of that from the area you grew up, now you can get on that shit where it's like your dad is now it's like, oh, okay, your dad is a P, that's cool. My dad is an employee, because now there's an opportunity that was
cool
to be with
do that.
Back in the day, I think the parents that not necessarily that pushed it on their kids, but informed them kids of what it was that they did was out of fear of paranoia. Because you got to think about it like this. I grew up in 92, 93 and shit like that. My mom didn't push it on me, but it was one of those things where like, like in the black community or black families, what do they tell you? When white people come around, nigga, mind
your goddamn business.
My mama smoked them green. My mama smoked them things that come out the green pack with the white and green stripes. Anything else? You miss me with that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, but now, for instance, like my daughter, she ended up taking some fucking tree to school one time, and it was some shit that I had dropped on the floor, but I don't even know how the fuck but it was way different. The motherfucking people would have got involved back in the day. CSDs.
On your ass.
Let's be 100, y'all. Shit would have been different. So things
They probably would have took her that day.
They would have snatched her up out of the house and everything. And I'm like, you're around drugs. You bringing it to school and whoopity whoop. And you showing your friends. It would have been a whole.
They was on my mama ass.
It would have been a whole different thing.
But now things have changed a little bit to the point where it's.
I don't want to say
Did they
it's
give
like,
it back to you?
They did.
No, they didn't get it back.
They threw it away. Because by the time I found out, it was like, what? But
was it that Zaza?
Hey, where you at? But long story short, even with that, it's like my demeanor towards my daughter has been more education.
Yeah.
Like my input on her education has made difference to where I had told her, your education is gonna follow you. I said, because in life, I start talking to her about credit. And I, like, before I wasn't really on it, so I'm only like 2 years in with credit. I wasn't using credit. I didn't know what to do with credit. So I kind of was, even with my situations or dealing with some chick, I'm like, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. And she'd be like, oh, you wasn't worried about credit. I don't know what the fuck to do with it. That is, I think, is the system that we all grew up in. How can somebody tell me or tell you what to do, regardless of my pay status? I don't know what the fuck to do with that shit.
If I don't know how to benefit in life by using credit, you can't talk to me about credit.
I was immediately told, nigga, you black, you got bad credit.
And then
I hate that.
And then
I was
even with that,
immediately
like
told
my grandma really didn't tell me how to use credit. And then when she was using her shit, she has credit, but she didn't know how to use it. I started doing my research. I started reading my books. No education, no going to no school. Nobody
Right.
kind of told me. So then I was like, oh, so this is what I can do. This is how I can do it. First thing I told my daughter, I said, credit is like your GPA, and you got to keep it up for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So they were training us in school with a GPA. And a lot of people don't understand that. I said, and it's the same thing. You show up for these classes, you're graded on it. You do it on time, you're graded on it. It's the same thing that falls into credit. You do it on time, you pay it, you do these things. What I told her, I said, then you have to maintain this GPA because it can go up, it can go down. The better your GPA, the better chances you get at opportunities, the better things they give you, the better incentives, invites. I said, people call you up, come to our school, come do these things. And I was like, and when your shit fucked up, don't nobody want shit to do with you. I said, don't nobody want to give you shit.
Well, it's even to the point too. Our mindset, even just as black people, we had the mindset of nigga credit, nigga. I'll just pay cash.
But that's because all we knew.
Exactly, and
That's
because of
what I
that,
knew.
I feel like. Well, also on top of that too, when people did come around and start talking about credit shit to us, early on, we were like, nigga, we don't want to fucking hear that shit.
Because they wasn't talking that made sense.
Well, because they wasn't talking that made sense, but in a black person's mindset, we already have debt. And when you sit there and trying to tell me that credit is basically like a loan, nigga, I don't want to owe you.
Yeah, I don't
you
want to
feel
owe
me?
more money. But
Yeah.
then that was the same demeanor I had till I understood. You won't owe money unless you don't know what to do with it. And then that's what a lot of people say, oh, I ain't trying to get no credit because I'm going to have to owe people. No. And then now, like, even with that, when I go into places, they'll be like, oh, would you like to apply for a card? I'm like, no, thank you. They'll be like, oh, if you apply for this. I said, man, that ain't going to help my card. I said, that ain't going to help my credit. I was like, a charge card from a store ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah, no.
That's not revolving.
People think that too. No, if you get a store card, you didn't do nothing.
But in the way they make it sound like it will help, yes, it will be another account. But if you don't have X amount of secured or unsecured cards, that account ain't gonna do no justice. It's just another account. But if you have a plethora and a mix, it might help. But then I learned too, hard inquiries, different things, all this shit that I was like, well, before nobody told me this shit. So now when I'm telling my daughter, oh, this is how we're gonna do this, or this is how we're gonna go about this, or I'm telling my son, I feel like my son, he's like, so dad, you only let me use this card. I was like, yeah, because I don't want it being dormant. I don't use that card, so it's just sitting there. So I was like, so you using it for PlayStation? That's cool. It gives me an excuse, and you're gonna ask me for it anyway. So now I'm using it for something you gonna ask me for. I'm already prepared. But if I would have been sitting here, I ain't got that $50 to spend on no PlayStation. Boy, get out my motherfucking face. But now I know what to do with
Just
it.
like a black
I ain't gonna dub too. I'm not gonna dub. The moment two things. One, the moment I found out what credit was, I got so excited because to me, I don't know growing up if it was just that was pushed to me as far as advertisement go, but the payday loan, get it now, pay it later was pushed to me.
Okay, and that's what a lot of people learn.
Yeah.
That's what I knew. I didn't know nothing about credit.
I knew about the
I
payday
think
loan shit.
everybody that doesn't have credit, that's the alternative.
Yeah.
Because you would use your card to pay stuff off and then put your money back on the card.
When I found out about
and you would
credit,
pay them the lower
that's
interest
exactly
rate.
what it was.
But now we don't know that we would be using that money at an interest rate loan and then we'd be paying it back. But instead, like you said, you go to the payday place. We know that we could go in there. They're going to give us some money today.
We just got to pay back with interest.
And we got to pay back with interest. But that's the same thing.
The credit part, I found out that if you pay it by a certain point, nigga, you're not getting interest rate on these credit cards.
There is no interest.
There's no interest rate. So you telling me basically I applied for free money, paid back the free money, and I can use the free money
over
again
and over
continuously, nigga. As soon as I got 4 credit cards, I put all my bills between those 4 credit cards and was like, now
I'm gonna pay it anyway.
And in the mindset too, when I got that, I was like, nigga, you're telling me that instead of having to pay $300 today on one thing, now I got $300 in the bank, and that $300 becomes $1,000, and $1,000 it's the ripple effect because now I only gotta pay this shit off eventually, but at the end of the day, I'm stacking my fucking money.
Yeah, because then that's the other alternative that I understand that. I go, let's say I want to go buy something, and I get it now. Like the one dude, he was like, the interest rate is already lower. He was like, if you go in there with you go get the card. Let's say you got a $50K card, you could buy something. The interest rate that they gonna give me for the loan at 50 bands at the dealer versus the interest is gonna cost me with my credit card company. Depending on what my cap off is, my interest might be 0.9%. I'm good. Y'all gonna let me use 30 bands at 0.9%. And then if I go in here to the car lot, they're going to finance me anywhere from 5 and up. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. One time, man, when a motherfucker had a car, man, my motherfucking payment was down there like $1,300, man. I think they hit me for like damn near.
Nigga, what?
It was a high ass interest rate, highest interest rate I ever seen in my motherfucking life. But it was like no credit. No financial backing, nigga. I couldn't provide any stubs. They was taking a huge. They was like, "We'll give you the money, but you gonna have to put down one big ass down payment." And they was like, "And you gonna have to pay the first 2 months payments." Like, nigga, we can't even trust you because you ain't got no credit. And then
At all.
That put me in a position to realize now when people are like, "Oh, you could get it for a lower rate if you know what you're doing." But if you even know, you might not even go through them. You will use your credit card and not even have to deal with Capital One or some whatever loan company or something. And like, I've learned that now. Who the fuck was telling me this? Not my mom. Nah, my uncles. These niggas sharpshooter ass shimmy players from the 70s. Man, they ain't know nothing about that shit, man.
This nigga just put me on game. I ain't never knew you could get a credit card for your car.
You feel me?
I just,
Quick
nigga,
question.
what?
How long we been running?
2.5.
Man, I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
It's all good.
We down to our last, 12 minutes on the camera?
You got 11 minutes.
All right,
We
man.
didn't even touch the music. We didn't touch the business. These niggas came up here with conspiracy theories and tax credit and politics.
Hey, this just means we got to bring it back.
We got to bring it back for a whole other episode, but this is the one that y'all need because y'all need to know these things so y'all can better y'all credit.
This is why he got
better
Blue Lemonade.
y'all village. Come together collectively, man, and just know, man, like motherfuckers be deeper than y'all know out here, man. There's a lot going on.
What you got 3 minutes. What you got going on for the people?
Right now, man, bluelemonade.com. Make sure you log on there, man. We got the show coming up with Sada Baby on June 11th. I don't know if this is going to air. We got the other show coming up with BFB the Pac-Man. Hey, man, on the 2nd of July. And also, man, we got more things in the works, man. Just keep looking out, man. It's on the flow. It's on the flow.
Where can the people find you at?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Wavy Water. Well, actually, at Wavy_water, and then if you want to look me up, man, you can find me on wavy-water.com. So y'all can like check me out, man. And if you're on Facebook, man, it's Wavy Water Nathan, man.
And say it with your chest, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, what you got for the people, Prince? What's coming up next for you?
Man, we got Sada Baby coming up this week. We got we got Haiti Baby coming up on the 25th. We got Derek King coming up on the 27th, 26th. We got the Big June shootout going on the 27th. Then we come back here to Portland for the second with Pac-Man. And then we got the album release with AJ, and we're doing a day party back in Modesto and shit like that. So we're going to be moving around. Then I got Twisted and Stay and Stevie Stone and coming up for like August and into July.
That part.
We doing some shit.
Nigga, we working.
The DJ, I heard, is crazy up there. So, you know, we do some shit.
There we go.
Jay, what's on your schedule?
Work. This podcast was I wasn't prepared for this shit.
Yeah, man, sorry, man. We didn't expect this, man.
He been like,
damn, like I was long here.
Wave just kept being like, he'd be like, I shouldn't get into it, but
it got deep.
Yeah,
deeper.
And when we said the socialism shit, I really expected.
Bro, you flipped his fucking wig,
I
bro.
really expected
Jason lost the cut.
Jason was going to be like, stop.
And we ain't going there. We ain't pushing none of that.
all your shit contradicts itself too. It's so
I know,
funny.
it's funny.
You're like, I want socialism, but I fucking
Hey,
hate
but
my
for
taxes
some
goes-
reason, Jason was feeling what I was putting down. You feel me? I think we kind of on the same page with shit.
It's youngsters think they got it.
Listen. It's not that I don't like. I'm contradicting myself. It's the fact that one, I know we deserve this. I'm just irritated that I gotta even pay for it that we deserve it. That's why it's like that. So
your heart's in the right spot. Your sentiment's there, but
I'm still
the
a greedy
execution
nigga.
is just not.
No, I'm a greedy nigga. At the end of the day, I'm like, Mac, nigga, I want to help you out. I want to give it to you. But, nigga, you don't know how hard it was for me to get to this fucking mountain.
It's like, I want to help all these people.
But you do deserve it, and I do want you to have it. I just don't want you to have it coming out of me right now.
No, it's not even that. It's one of those, like, Okay, just helping people on a day-to-day basis. I'm not gonna give you $10 if I know that you are not gonna turn it into 20.
Right.
30, 40 bucks, whatever, you feel me? And if it takes you holding on to that $10 that I gave you for an extra 3 months so you can get to that 100, my nigga, keep it.
Yeah, hold on to it.
But if I gotta give you $10 and you don't do nothing with it, and I find out that you didn't have to borrow another $10 from 3 other people just to give me my 10, hey, fuck them other 2 people that you borrowed that money for, bitch ass nigga. Where my $10 at?
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
because you
first.
still ain't even gave me my money,
You
and you
know
over
me?
here borrowing more
You ain't
money
even
and
flipped
splurging.
it.
That's the worst part.
I hate when niggas borrow money from me just to spend instead of borrowing money from me just to invest.
Yeah,
But fuck your pockets, nigga. This isn't your typical podcast, nigga. We gotta cut this
Fuck,
show
you
short.
fucked that whole
I
switch
did.
up.
I really did. It's not, nigga.
He was trying to remix here.
Hey man, check us out on the gram. You feel me? IG everything XL, Facebook everything XL. Y'all heard them. We got the Sada Baby coming up, Haiti Baby, all the bullshit. Yeah, man. Fuck with us. Nigga, tap in. It's your baby mama's favorite fat nigga, Mac Million, the motherfucking most. We got Wavy Nathan in this motherfucker. You feel me? We out this bitch. Play something, nigga.
Not really though.
I've been on this journey, little mama just hopped on. Tell me I'm your favorite crip. Every time we fuck on, grip tied on the drip. Fat nigga with the fashion. Right now we just coolin', chillin' and relaxing. Roll that weed up, Netflix and chill, and fuck them sheets up. Baby girl on the stack and now she geeked up. All kinds of action with the smacking. I ain't your nigga, but you know what's happening. She kinda cool though, the kind you take in public and won't trip on. Other hoes running up with that bullshit. It's kinda crazy on the low, that's really my bitch, minus the relationship. Now we ain't holding hands, now we ain't making plans, just time for us to meet up. Top me, smoke 3 blunts, count my trap, clean my heat, and pray before I hit the streets. She won't let me leave without something to eat, cause that's my bitch.
Get it for the cash, yeah. Tonight you want it slow, you gon' get it fast, yeah. Got it for the low, but you might get a pass, yeah. Get a pass, yeah. And I'ma make it last. You stay hitting dash, get it for the cash. Tonight you want it slow, you gon' get it fast. Got it for the low, but you might get a pass, yeah. And I'ma make it last.